Round one of the WHL playoffs comes to a close in BC's Okanagan with an unlikely series to go the distance. The Seattle Thunderbirds, a huge underdog going into Game 1, got timely saves and overtime heroics to push them one win away from a major upset. But the Kelowna Rockets have proven to their foes that the fourth win is often the most difficult. On the verge of elimination, the Rockets have surged back to draw even. Now the best of 7 is a winner-take-all showdown in Kelowna. Game 7, Thunderbirds and Rockets, next on Shaw.
All eyes of the Western Hockey League on Prospera Place in Kelowna, getting set for the first Game 7 of the 2013 Western Hockey League playoffs. And there's the hero of Game 6, Miles Bell. He's got 4 goals in the series, 8 points, and he's getting hot at the right time as well for the Rockets with a goal in each of the last 3 games. And Cody Fowley had 2 of his 3 goals in the series last night. He opened the scoring and then he tied it for Kelowna. All 6 goals in regulation scored in the first period last night. He could be playing his last game in the WHL, as is Luke Lockhart for the Seattle Thunderbirds, also a goal scorer last night. He's got 3 in the series for Seattle. It will be one of the big keys for them going into Game 7 this evening. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the WHL on Shaw, WHL Central, brought to you by Sierra Sil. I'm Andy Neal. 50 points separated Kelowna and Seattle in the regular season in the standings, and yet here they are in a Game 7 to decide this best of 7 Cal Tire Western Conference quarterfinal series. Now, certainly the Rockets know a thing or two about making history on home ice. Earlier this season, they had that franchise best 23-game home ice win streak, and now tonight, trying to become the second team in WHL playoff history to overcome an 0-3 deficit to win the series. The only team that can claim that they've done that are the Spokane Chiefs back in 1996 when they defeated Portland in the opening round after being down 3-0. Seattle looked like they were destined for a major upset right off the bat with 3 come-from-behind overtime wins to begin this series, but Kelowna has outscored Seattle 12-6 in the last 3 games to bring this series to the climax. It's been a series full of twists and turns, and to get you set a little further, let's go to Dan Russell and Bill Wilms, who have the call tonight. Gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Andy. And these 0-3 deficits, there's something else. Only once, as you mentioned, in the WHL, 3 times in the NHL, never in the NBA, and once in baseball. But, Bill, in this series, when it became 3-0 for Seattle, you got the feeling that maybe something could happen here.
Yeah, you know, Coach Ryan Huska of the Kelowna Rockets has said all year he's got a real special group of players on that team. Now, when they lose 3 games in overtime, that's a real test of the character of that hockey club. But remember, Kelowna scored 100 more goals than the Seattle team. I did have a feeling that when things settle down, they could make a series out of it. They've done that. But it's Game 7, flip a coin. I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. It's going to be fun to watch, and you know the players are going to leave it all on the ice.
Well, what a series it has been. As Bill mentioned, the first 3 go to overtime. Last night goes to overtime. They've all been pretty close games.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you take a look at going back to that Game 1, we're talking overtime games. Game 1 in Seattle here, or rather in Kelowna, Luke Lockhart, 5-4 overtime winner. You know, Alex Delnov is going to, in Game 2, a 2-1 overtime winner right in that spot. My goodness, those 2 games in Kelowna. Now you move down to Seattle. Unlikely hero, Evan Wardley, the 3-2 overtime winner. 4-0 Game 4. Let's go to Game 5. Miles Bell, 4-3, his 4th in the 4th game. And how about last night's overtime winner? A shot off that left wing. A great release by Miles Bell coming down that left wing.
Now the Rockets, boy, are they a battered group. There's a lot of regulars out of their lineup led by Colton Sissons. It's really tested their depth.
Well, I mean, the guy that's really stepped up for this hockey club is Tyson Bailey. He has been nothing short of sensational. Remember, a 7-year-old from Fort Saskatchewan. Watch where he scores all these goals from, folks. They're 4 goals. They're power play goals. He's number 24. That's number 2 from that spot there. We've got a couple more for you. Watch 24, a right-hand shot. That's his 3rd goal. All power play goals. One more coming up here. Right side, right over that one side. Again, this is Tyson Bailey. Somehow, Dan, I think the Seattle Thunderbirds have to find a way to not let Bailey get to that spot on the power play.
Then there's that Latvian on the Seattle team, Lipsbergs. His first name is Roberts, and boy, is he making a name for himself in this series.
Yeah, I mean, he had a slow start in the Western Hockey League, scored 2 goals in his first 19 games, Dan, then he went 15 goals, 15 games after that, and it's carrying into the playoffs. Look, when he gets behind a defense, he is a handful. I mean, a great hit by Honey to get that puck to the front of the net to Lipsberg. He has been that good. And I mean, if you let him get to this spot here, boy, he is going to give you a ton of trouble. Again, from the Kelowna standpoint, they have to find a way to make sure Lipsberg and even Delnoff don't get to those areas around Jordan Cook.
The Euros have been very special for the Seattle Thunderbirds. All right, Game 7, they're always special, Andy, as we go back over to you.
Thanks very much, Dan and Bill. Tonight wraps up the 5th meeting in the playoffs between Seattle and Kelowna. The last time these two teams met, the last 2 times, they went to a Game 7, and the winner of that 7th game had been down 2-0 earlier in the series, so maybe a good omen for Kelowna there. But these two getting set for the 7th and deciding game. Seattle would get Portland in the next round. Kelowna would get Kamloops. The next 60 minutes will decide it. Miles Bell with Stu Walters on the other side of the break on the WHL on Shaw.
Just moments away from Game 7 before they drop the puck. Here's Stu Walters with last night's OT hero.
Thank you very much, Dan. Yes, with Miles Bell, Rockets forward, you scored the overtime winner last night. It's been a great comeback for you guys so far from down 0-3. How have you managed your emotions knowing that the job is not quite finished?
I think we're just taking the mindset that it's a 7-game series for a reason. We're going to come out, put our best effort tonight.
How important to have the winner-take-all game on home ice where you guys have been so dominant this year?
That's what we worked on all year to get this home ice advantage, and it's going to be a big help with this building behind us.
Thanks, Miles. Good luck tonight.
Thanks a lot.
Let's hit up, Dan and Bill.
All right, Stu, here's your starting goalies for Jack Lynx. Feed your wild side. Same goalies for the entire series. That is Brandon Glover from Victoria. He played for Moose Jaw. He played for Calgary. Last night he stopped 55 of 59 shots that he faced. And Jordan Cooks, in his very first playoff series, he has faced 168 shots in this series. That's how many saves he's made, and there's his record, 3-3, and a 2.42 goals against average. There's Derek Zalowski. He'll work with Devin Klein. Those are the two referees. The linesmen also, their names on your screen for game number 7. History will be made one way or the other here tonight from Kelowna. Will they join Spokane as a team that came back from 0-3, or will we get the biggest points upset in league history? Seattle in the dark uniforms, but Kelowna's got the puck down there low. Is Olsen. He plays it back to the blue line, but Martin can't hold it in as Severson's pass missed him. It's shot back in, and Glover handles the puck for the first time. He leaves it there for Wardley. Evan Wardley around the boards, down the ice, but it's right on Cook, so there is no icing, and Severson back to get the puck. Severson almost handed it away. In fact, he did give it away, and there's a centering pass, and Seattle can't come up with it. Forsberg from the line does put it down to the corner. Last night, Kelowna scored 22 seconds in, and there's Seattle trying to score 42 seconds in, but that one's deflected out of play.
Yeah, I'll take a quick look at what's happened inside this series so far. This Seattle Thunderbird team, 100 goals fewer than the Kelowna Rockets. You look at the power play. Look at the bottom left-hand corner, folks. 0 for 24 for the Seattle Thunderbirds. Wow, that never gets a job done in the playoffs.
Offensive zone face-off for Seattle, won by Kelowna as they get it out. Hoff knocks it down. Forsberg on the glove hand pass took it, so that's why we'll get this face-off in the neutral zone.
Boy, period 1 has been great so far in the series for the Kelowna Rockets. They've outscored Seattle 12-5 last night. That wild first period. 3-1 for the Seattle Thunderbirds. Coach Ryan Huska takes a key timeout. I thought that was an important part of the hockey game. In the first period, his team scored 2. It was 6 goals scored, 3-3 after 1 period.
And there's a chance, and the rebound is just put wide of the net. A golden opportunity for young Nick Merkley as he nearly scored his first WHL goal. 15-year-old Merkley, one of 2 15-year-olds in the Kelowna lineup, which is battered. That's him with the puck right now. Nick Merkley getting the first real good scoring chance for Kelowna. Now he misses the pass. Here's Cam Bites for Seattle, throwing one towards the net, but that goes off the target, and the Rockets get it out to center. Again, Merkley with the puck as he brings it in over the line. Chopped off his stick. Cam Bites backhands it out, and it goes back for Madison Bowie. Bowie doesn't get it. The goaltender Cook gets it to Severson, now to Bowie, and out he comes. Sends it into the Seattle zone. It goes around to Glover. Glover plays it back this way to Folk. Folk having trouble there, but he got the puck up the near boards. Can he get it out? Not quite. There's McKinley, but he's checked by Falk. As they continue to battle along this near side, looks like Elliott has a chance. No, he doesn't get it out, but Johnson plays it cross-site. Finally, the Seattle team is out, and that is not icing. They've waved that off in the neutral zone. So Cook plays it high around the boards, held in at the blue line by Seattle, as Jared Smith plays it down low. Trying to get it is Mitch Elliott. Mitch Elliott is number 7. He doesn't get it, but he hits the other number 7, Severson, and Seattle is having to retreat as Kelowna brings it back in over the line. McKinley, his shot, knocked down, and then he knocks his man down. Centering pass, and a shot stopped by Glover. That shot by Bailey. And Bailey has been hot in this series. Bailey has 2 opening goals in the first 6 games, and now he has a chance on the doorstep, and Glover makes the save off Bailey, who nearly for the 3rd time in this series opened the scoring.
Well, Tyson Bailey's certainly been in the middle of things. He's been great. This is a chance, defense to defense. That's 16-year-old. This is Merkley. Watch him break in. The guy with a shot gets his own rebound. Merkley, 15 years old. We talk hockey age, folks. And this is the last chance here by Tyson Bailey. A good scramble around the net. Bailey, number 24, with 4 goals. But if I go back to Merkley for a minute, Dan, last night he had a breakaway. He also had 4 shots on goal. Merkley was the first-round Bantam pick for this Kelowna Rocket team in 2012, just past 9th overall. And I'll tell you something, he has been terrific at both ends of the ice.
Swenson and Fowley have got penalties here. We're going to have some 4-on-4 action. And then we have a discussion as there's I think a problem with the rink on the far side. The rink attendants are out going to the Seattle bench area.
But then the other thing, if I might say too, is the Kelowna Rockets have opened the scoring in all 6 games. Last night, Cody Fowley, like we referenced earlier, scored at 22 seconds. But I thought that the Rockets have done a much better job of shutting this T-Bird down after the first game in Kelowna. You know, when Seattle played game 1 here, folks, they had 50 shots on goal. Game 2 in here, 19, and the third time, only 17 shots. But how about the Rockets last night, Dan? 59 shots on goal against the Seattle Thunderbirds, the most they had all year.
As Ryan Huska, his team had a club record 52 victories this season, but trying to knock Seattle out here in game number 7. Near full house here in Kelowna. They only had the 1 day to sell game 7. Lockhart out of his own zone as we play 4-on-4. Lipsburg shoots the puck in. He handles the puck for the first time. Lockhart in there on the forecheck, gets the loose puck for Seattle as he works it out here to the blue line. Now getting a chance to play it down low. Comes off the corner boards to Kelowna, and the Rockets. Martin is going to come out of his own zone as Colton Martin weaves his way in. His pass over here to Olsen, who puts it behind the net. Martin will have to hustle over on the far side. They'll play the puck down low. Franco to Olsen, back towards Franco, but it missed him. And it goes to Shea Theodore. Theodore gets it out to Lockhart, who wears jersey 20. He's 20 years old, and he's hoping this is not his last game in the WHL. Lockhart heads to the Seattle bench on a line change. Offsetting minors are halfway through. Olsen brings the puck in over the blue line. Severson, cross ice it goes. Bowie trying to get control of it. McKinley on his back end, off the board, throws it in front. Severson trying to reach it, and he does, and Glover makes the save. Slow developing chance, but Severson got the opportunity. Now the pass comes back up high. Severson once more plays it down low. McKinley has it knocked off his stick. Good defensive play by Falk, although he didn't come up with the puck. But in front of the net, and a great save by Glover from point-blank range right there for Lenniken as he gets the opportunity. That was a great one. Lineker nearly opening the scoring, and that's the second best scoring chance that Kelowna's had in the first 4 minutes and change of this opening period. Severson out to Bowie. Bowie puts the puck down low. The defense of the Kelowna Rockets really under the gun with Lease hurt. He took the check last night. Here's a chance for Kelowna. A shot goes wide. Imagine they'll play with 4 defensemen most of the night. Offsetting penalties are over. Teams are back at full strength. Trying to move the puck. Oh, is he hit? Fans respond to that. Rockets send the puck back into Seattle territory. Theodore trying to stick handle his way out. He does. Nice pass to Cam Bites. Nice move by Cam Bites as he brings it in over the blue line. Gambite's holding, shoots. The rebound, after it was knocked down by Bowie, is cleared away, and the Rockets look like they're going to come out, led by Tyson Bailey. Bailey got it towards Glover. That's Austin Glover, no relation to Brandon Glover, the opposing goalie for Kelowna. And the Seattle Nets. Here are the Thunderbirds trying to work it off the cycle. Rockets take it away from them, at least for the time being. They try to work it up the boards. Faulk does a good job to hold it in. Here's Green now, takes a shot. It's knocked down in front, and the puck is swept away by Martin. Not only swept away, but stick handled away as he got it out to center ice. Pretty close call there in front of the Kelowna net, but no Seattle blue-shirted Thunderbird could get their stick on that loose puck. Hullum sends it around the boards and down the ice, but no icing as Martin goes back to get it. Colton Martin is from Texas. Comes out of his own zone. Lots of American-born players on the Seattle lineup.
4 Texans in the Western Hockey League this year.
Heffley brings the puck in over the line. Here's an opportunity, and a save by Glover on the shot taken by Nyberg. Henrik Nyberg, who had 8 goals in the regular season. Good scoring chance there, stopped by Glover.
Well, you know, right now the Kelowna Rockets have been able to penetrate those areas on the ice like this right here. When you get to that spot, your goaltender better be in good position to make these kind of saves. We saw Lineker early take a real good play from McKinley on the cycle, get it to the front of the net. But remember, Brandon Glover, 6'5", he's a big goaltender.
McKinley gloves that one down right to Lineker. So glove hand pass will stop the play, and the face-off will come outside the blue line. Let's go downstairs to Stu Walters.
Thank you very much, Dan. Yeah, we talked about the Rockets' depleted, roster, but especially on defense now as well with the injury last night to Jesse and Lease. Colton Heffley, I was told at the beginning of the game, he's a forward. He was going to play on the blue line tonight. Now, we've already seen him out there as a forward on his first shift of the game. We just seen him complete a shift on defense. Shouldn't be too much of a transition for him. He played a handful of games as a forward during the regular season. Of course, this is the postseason, so it's a little bit more intense. We'll see how he does tonight, but watch for number 25 on the blue line.
Wow, that one by Elliott nearly handcuffs Cook. Sharp angle, innocent looking shot, but Cook did squeeze it and got a whistle.
You know, Stu talking about that depleted defense, I think Coach Konowalchuk really has to make sure that his forwards, some of his skill guys, penetrate that slot area, get guys into near the paint. I think at that point you challenge a defense's ability to defend that area, and if you've got some inexperience on defense, that's where it'll show up.
And that's a very experienced former player, Steve Konowalchuk, guiding the Seattle Thunderbirds back to the bench as head coach of Seattle. That puck goes out of play, so we'll do this face-off all over again.
You know, they talk about if T-Birds win this series being the biggest upset in WHL history in terms of point differential. But I'll tell you what, with an unbalanced schedule, that coach there, Steve Konowalchuk, his team played in that tough U.S. division. They played Portland 12 times. They played Spokane. They played Tri-City. I'm not so sure that point differential of 50 is that meaningful.
And again, that puck out of play, but is this one going to be a penalty? This could be a penalty. That was shot out of play. The referee's pointing at the Kelowna player. It looks like Severson's going to get the penalty. And the Seattle Thunderbirds, who have not scored a power play goal in this series, get the first man advantage of Game 7.
And Severson not at all happy about the fact this was called. I think the last 2 or 3 times Seattle or Kelowna had the puck down, they try to come up the boards with it. They try to come up the glass with it. It's sometimes an easy out, an easy breakout, and this is what he tries to do at this point one more time. And over top of the glass, it goes absolutely 0 for 24. You've got to be kidding me. This is something that has to change for Seattle to win this game.
0 for 9 in this rink in the 3 games that were played here already, and you have to wonder if the law of averages are on Seattle's side. Lockhart puts the puck down low. Kootenay finished their series with Edmonton, also failing to score a power play goal in that 5-game set. So let's see how Seattle sets up here. Swenson back to Theodore. Theodore back for Swenson. Svensson couldn't get it, and that puck is shot down the ice, and it barely stayed in play as well. That would have been something else. And Theodore out of his own zone to Lipsbergs. Lipsbergs gets it to Lockhart as he brings it in over the line in front of the net. Here's a chance and a save by Cook, and a fine save it was as Lipsbergs got himself into that little hole there, took the pass, and nearly opened the scoring. That would have been his 4th of this series. Lipsbergs already has 3 as it comes back out here to Theodore. Theodore can't keep it in. Forsberg Now to Lipsbergs as he shoots it behind the Kelowna goal. The Rockets look like they have full possession. They get it off the glass and down the ice. Now we have 49 seconds left in this man advantage. No score, 7.5 minutes into game number 7. Cam bites. Now Jared Smith in over the blue line. Smith along that far wall. Being checked there by Martin, but he protects the puck quite nicely. Gets it back to the, well, it's hops over a stick. As Sheen couldn't hold it in, it goes down the ice. And back to collect the puck is Jared Hoff from Calgary, a first-round Bantam pick, 4th overall in 2010 was Hoff. As Cam Bites brings the puck in, at least into the neutral zone. Green will bring it into the actual Kelowna zone as he plays it back to the blue line. Down low it goes. In front is Delnov, but they couldn't give him the puck. Here's Smith winding up. Shot on goal, a save, and a rebound is put wide of the net. Over on the far side, Nyberg backhands it out to the neutral zone. Severson standing up at the box. He's comes back on. The Seattle Thunderbirds are now 0 for 25 in the first round of the 2013 playoffs.
And Dan, you know, you got Lipsberg with 9 power play goals on the season, Delnoff with 8, Theodore with 9. They've just dried up.
Sheen brings the puck in, trying to barge his way past Heffley. Now the two players continue to battle. Their sticks got up a little bit. Heffley trying to take his man either off the puck or to get the puck, but Fowley has it up high. Held in. Nice job at the line, but Fowley follows it up and the Rockets are out. Here's Bailey trying to dig it out of his skates. Hoff takes it from him. Big Hoff got the puck over to Johnson and 3 T-Birds bring it in over the line. Hoff takes a shot and a save and a rebound and they bang away at the puck. They continue to bang and Cook still doesn't have it. Another shot and Cook found that one. Wow, there must have been 4 chances there. And Jordan Cook, who just could not come up with the puck, but he kept coming up with saves.
When you're 6'6" and you're 216 pounds like Jared Hoff, first-round Bantam pick in 2010. Right there, you see number 33? It was only size that made the difference in retrieving that puck. Nice rush up the ice. Not a good rebound control by Jordan Cook. And count the Seattle Thunderbirds swarming that defensive area in front of the net, Dan, that I said that the Kelowna Rockets have to defend. This is where they have to be strongest. If you get this big Seattle team penetrate that area, you got a problem.
There's a slashing penalty that was called on Seattle at the end of that play. As you see in the penalty box, Connor Sanvito gets the penalty for slashing. And here is Kelowna with their first power play opportunity of game number 7. And as that puck goes down the ice, we can tell you Kelowna has 6 power play goals on 26 chances. There it is on your screen here on home ice in this series. They are 2 for 13. Bell shoots the puck in, high off the glass. Forsberg backhands it down the ice. Good job there by Jesse Forsberg, the former Prince George Cougar.
Yeah, everybody you talked to around this T-Birds team says Jesse Forsberg playing his best hockey.
Olsen moves in, his shot goes high and wide, and when you shoot it from there, it goes off the corner glass or boards, and you usually have to go 200 feet to retrieve it. And that's what happened there for the Rockets. Just over a minute to go in their power play as Fowley brings it in. Fowley going hard, throws it in front, but right to a blue-shirted T-Bird. McKinley got it, but he lost it, and it is shot down the ice by Riley Sheen. So far, nothing doing on the Kelowna power play. Madison Bowie. Riley Statham, he can't get it in. He'll try again. He's chased back a little bit. Bowie from the red line. Now Fowler, back to Bowie, winding up. Here's Stadel, winding up his shot. Save, rebound, McKinley! This is a golden opportunity. Half a net to shoot at, he put it wide. Stadel shoots, deflects on the wing, and that one is held out by Glover. What a fine save by Glover on the deflection. After moments earlier, McKinley missing a golden chance to open the scoring.
Yeah, how does McKinley miss on this particular play here? Nice puck movement by the defense. You get that shot. Watch the rebound there. He tries to get it in there quickly. Good screen. Nyberg in front of the net trying to battle for it as well. But here is what they do. They sustain this attack. The Rockets do. They get the one chance that you saw where McKinley missed. They followed up with some more sustained pressure right here.
22 seconds to go in the power play, but Seattle gets it down the ice. They win the face-off, and Hambites went over to the bench, and Coach Connor Walchuk said, no, you stay out there, keep penalty killing. We still have another 12 seconds to get through. He got all the way, oh, there's a hit after the whistle on the offside, and that gets Bell over there. And you can hear the referees, the linesmen, and the players talking about after the whistle.
Well, is this a late hit? Tell you what, it's a timely hit. That's about as good as you can deliver a shoulder check as you saw Seth Swinson go in there and deliver that hit.
How much will they go to the body tonight, Seattle?
But they're a much bigger team.
Has to be their feeling here. If they're going to win, they're going to need lots of hits like that.
Well, then, not to belabor the point I made earlier, but I think the size has to be a factor around the Kelowna goal. That's where I look for the bigger Seattle Thunderbirds to take some domination.
And we presume they've been investing in the series through the first 6 games with a lot of that already. Here comes Heffley in over the line. He's lined up. Tries to get the puck back again. Over in the far corner, that is Svensson with it. Switches it back. Griffin Falk. Tried this side. Lead pass does not materialize. He follows up though, and Falk brings it out. His pass finally ends up on one of his teammates' stick. Shot in there by Colasar, and it comes out the funny angle, and Green puts it behind the net. Martin, he's hit. Gets back up again. And here come the Rockets out of their own zone. Nyberg leading the way. Over on the far side, here's Goulburn. Goulburn puts it behind the net, gobbled up there by Seattle. And it's Theodore with lots of room to move it, and the T-Birds are out. And they shoot it in. Holub is giving chase. He ties up his man. That allows his teammate to come in and get the puck. It's handed right back to Kelowna by Colasar. And Bowie will try the far side. No score with 7.5 minutes to go here in the first period of game number 7. Quite a lot different than the first period last night in Seattle, where it was 3-3 after 1. Seattle controlling the puck inside the zone. Delnoff got it in front of the net. Lockhart couldn't get his stick on it. Rockets get it out, but Delnoff fishes it out of his skates. And the T-Birds with full possession out here in the neutral zone. Lipsburg flips it real high. Lands in that corner. Severson out to Bailey. Nice little pass. He tries to feather it through. There'll be a race for the puck over on the far side. Looks like Smith will get it, but he's almost stripped of the puck. Up high again. Fowley can't get it. The stick comes up a little bit. Oh, they're not calling a high stick, but the Seattle player, Delnov, lost his glove and his stick, claiming he was high stick. That was right in front of the bench and quite a distance from where we are. Either he was hit or he was selling it or a little bit of both, but there is no call, and back the other way, Kelowna comes. Here comes Olsen in over the line. Severson takes the pass. Severson going hard and going wide and wraps it around, and Glover's right there to make the save, and he holds on to stop the play. 6:10 to go in the first period. There's no score, but no shortage of chances either. As you watch Game 7, the WHL playoffs are on Shaw.
With Thunderbirds head coach Steve Konowalchuk. And Steve, the Rockets obviously started on home ice with a little bit of zone time and chances. Were you happy with the way your team weathered the storm and responded with their own?
Yeah, we got a couple good saves there early. They came out hard. We expect them to. You know, we got to do a better job there getting pucks deep. I thought we did that a couple times, got some momentum back for us. But, you know, they can come at you, so we got to make sure we're patient cycle.
Brandon Glover with 55 saves last night. Did you make sure he had the most comfortable seat on the bus last night? And how good has he been for you already tonight?
Well, again, he's been huge for us in this series, and he's a big player for us, and it looks like he's sharp here tonight.
Good stuff.
Yeah, bet you.
Guys.
Well, maybe a misplay here. There's the high stick. It gets right up in the face of Delnov. Cody Fowley, play that was missed by both officials. And I think when all is said and done, I mean, really, I thought last night's game was extremely well official in Seattle, and really the players made the difference on the ice.
Only 3 power plays last night. One was a 5-minute major. Hickman got the major, and that put out Lease. Hickman is suspended indefinitely. Lease out of the lineup right now. Delayed offside. Just under 6 minutes remain here in the opening period. This one's also offside on a delay, so Hauff will have time to move it for Seattle. Cambites out to center. No icing here as Stadel goes back to get the puck. It's a nice little move to knock it off the boards, and Bell will send it out to center. Bell follows it up, gets possession of the puck. Has Olsen on his right. Olsen gets the puck down to Franco. Franco with his head up, tries to get it by Forsberg. Forsberg had it in his skates, but now Olsen cross-ice pass, misses Bell. Bell turnaround shot, and Glover makes the save with the left pad. Forsberg gloving it down, trying to poke it out. Cannot get it by Severson. Throws it in front of the net, and just missing it was Zach Franco. As Severson's passed just a little too hard, but it was the right idea. And now Severson brings it in over the blue line. Knocks it behind the net. Controlled there by Falk as he played it around the boards. Lockhart collects it for Seattle. Falk gets it over here. Now a chance in front, and it just goes wide of the net. Good opportunity. Comes back to Martin. He puts it down low. Gets it back again. Martin behind the net. The battle over here as Heffley chases it. Severson on the pinch. He does a good job to keep it in. Lockhart now has House with them. Lockhart, good job in his own zone, and he weaves out for Seattle. But he didn't give away the puck to Heffley. But not before he got Seattle out of some trouble. Brought in though by Goldberg. Taken off his stick by Theodore. Theodore tries to stick handle, and he can't get out of his own zone. Tight quarters there for Theodore. Fowley puts it behind the net. Here's Goldberg with it. He throws it in front, and Glover cuts it off, and he holds on. The Western Hockey League on Shaw is proud to recognize Travelodge as an official partner of the WHL. Nice rooms, great people, Travelodge.
You know, the Seattle Thunderbirds have led for a total of 16 minutes in this series, 2 8-minute stretches. And the longer this game stays 0-0 at this point, shots 8-6 favoring the Kelowna Rockets. The team in blue, the Seattle Thunderbirds, begin to play with a little bit more confidence.
Shot in by Kelowna. There'll be a battle in that far corner for it. Wardley plays it up the boards, and the T-Birds are out of their own zone. And there's 3 of them through the center ice area. One move too many, however, and they're offside.
Let's go back to the season series between these two teams. Obviously, the 52 wins, the 24 wins, the 58 points, the 108 points. I told you about that earlier. That's a big disparity. You look at the home records, and 18th rank in the league on the left for the Thunderbirds. And how about those Kelowna Rockets in the season? They've had ranked second, winning 52 games and losing 16 this year.
And the Rockets bring the puck in over the line. There's a penalty. Taking his man down was Griffin Falk. And Kelowna will get their second power play of game number 7. Olsen taken down on the far side.
Yeah, trying to go along the wall on the outside, the push ahead. Olsen trying to keep his feet moving, never got a chance to do so. Griffin Falk from Broomfield, Colorado, takes him down, end up in the penalty box, and another opportunity for the power play for the Rockets.
And Olsen gets the puck, goes back out here to Bell. Bell plays it down low. Franco at the side, and a shot turned aside by Glover. Bailey took that shot. Olsen trying to come in to get the puck. Comes back out to Bell. Bell has Severson over here. Severson puts it hard, and it changes directions, and it goes to Seattle, and they get the puck down the ice. Shots in the first are 9-6 for Kelowna. 3 minutes to go in the opening period. Bell with 4 goals in this series. Olsen back to Severson. Bell winds up, shoots high, misses everybody, and everybody wanted to duck as that was a rising shot. Franco from behind the net. Bailey now in front, shot! Oh, what a chance! Olsen, Vanda, another chance, and Glover seems to either knock it down, or it might have been Huff that got his big body in front of it. And the Kelowna Rockets' blue chip chances continue, but nothing to show for it.
You know, Dan, Ryan Olsen had 32 goals during the season. He's number 27. He is still looking for his first ever playoff goal. Played 7 games in a playoff with Saskatoon. Never had a goal. He's played 6 games with the Rockets. Doesn't have a goal, and I wonder if that's pressing a little bit. He had that great, glorious chance, couldn't finish.
Stadel to Bowie, shot, block. Bowie trying to get a rebound, could not. The high man, Cam Bites, blocked the shot, and then he got it down the ice. Bites in Lockhart out there as the penalty-killing forwards. Wardley and Smith, the penalty-killing defenseman for Seattle, as it's Nyberg who brings it in over the line. Stadel now with it. Stadel cross ice to Bowie. Bowie gets it over on the far side. There's a bit of a give and go. Fowley takes the pass behind the net. Half a minute to go in this power play. Will they get another great chance of the same nature that Olsen just had? Nyberg puts it behind the net. You don't know how many power plays you're going to get into a Game 7. It's only the first period, but chances are you're not going to get a lot of them. So when you don't cash in, it could come back later. Just 12 seconds to go in this man advantage. McKinley brings it in. Shot turned aside by Glover. Good work by Seattle on the boards. Green and Hoff getting it out to the center ice area. Here's Green. Full strength of the Thunderbirds. And a quick shot that just went wide of the net. Opportunity there for Swenson. Out to center it comes. Forsberg backhands it back in. Just over a minute remaining in the first period of game number 7. And there's nothing on the score clock yet in terms of goals. Merkley though moving in. Merkley! Stopped by Glover. What a skill play by Merkley to get himself in that position. And Glover makes another fine save. Merkley started this game with a wonderful opportunity. And in the last minute of this period gets another golden chance. And that's got to be 4 or 5 blue chip chances for Kelowna in this first period as Seattle goes offside.
Hard to believe, huh? 2 games played for Nick Merkley, 15-year-old hockey-wise, folks. I keep emphasizing that. Boy, that's some speed, that's some puck management. And you know what he runs into here, folks? Watch the big 6'5" goaltender. This is the value of being large and playing the net well. Glover just slid over, didn't lose any of the net, and really just forced Merkley to absolutely have to pick a spot perfectly. But it was a great play.
Puck shot in by Seattle. Bowie collects it, backhands it over to Stadel. Stadel tries to get it to Olsen. Still 20 seconds to go in the period, so here comes Kelowna out of their own zone. Bodies flying over on the far side. Here's Olsen throwing it in front, and it's redirected wide by Bowie, who would come in. Stadel with 10 seconds to go. Makes one move. Still Stadel with the puck. His shot goes in front of the net. Bowie stick handles, and they continue to stick handle around Glover, but they can't get the shot away as the first period in the Okanagan comes to an end. And we have some pushing and shoving at the horn over on the far side. As you see Glover go off the ice. We had a little separation by the linesman at the end. All right, Andy, over to you in WHL Central.
Thanks very much, Dan. We will hear from Seattle's Luke Lockhart on the other side of the break, who will be chatting with Stu Walters. Inside the WHL with Peter Labardius, and we go one-on-one with Doyle Potento from the Kelowna Daily Courier. That, along with highlights and analysis. Entertaining first period between the Rockets and Seattle in Game 7, but no score on the WHL on Shaw.
After 20 minutes of play, the T-Birds and Rockets all tied at, 0. Scoreless game here again after 20 minutes of play. Game 7 of this Western Conference quarterfinal here with T-Birds forward and captain Luke Lockhart. And Luke, talk about that opening period. How do you think you guys did on the road?
I think we came out good. We wanted to come out strong. We took a couple penalties, but we killed them off, and we wanted to just take it to them in the second, third.
I want to ask about that second PK that you guys just killed off now. A ton of chances, but some pretty good block shots by you guys. How important was it to kill that one off especially?
That was huge. Late in the period, you don't want to give them any momentum. So, that kill was huge, and we want to build momentum off that and take that into the next period.
I want to ask you about your goaltender, Brandon Glover. 55 saves last night. It's also been pretty big here tonight so far. How great has he been throughout the series?
He's been awesome. He's kept us in every game, and, we're trying hard to, block shots and stuff, but, he's been huge and really saved us in the last couple games.
What was your club's mentality? You as the captain in the room beforehand, no matter the circumstances, they fought back from a 3-0 deficit, but do you feel the pressure still on Kelowna tonight and their building in this Game 7?
Yes, they're second seed, so we really think the pressure's all on them. They're expected to win this. It's in their building, so we really want to just play our game and come out hard and really just take it to them.
Thank you very much, Luke, and good luck in the final 40 minutes.
All right, thank you.
Let's head up to Andy Neal in WHL Central.
Thanks very much, Stu. WHL Central brought to you by C.R. Sill inside the WHL alongside Peter Loubardias. That was quite a first period. Brandon Glover and Jordan Cook also had some big tests in that first period, but boy, the goaltenders really stood out.
If you're the Kelowna Rockets, you have one disappointment after the opening 20 minutes. You're not in front by 1 or 2 goals. Glover was absolutely fantastic. Kelowna definitely, of the 12 shots, may have had 8 quality scoring opportunities. Glover was excellent. He's been great in the whole series. He's really been the backstop with an improving and young Seattle defense. I've been very impressed with that group in this series. They got a nice future on the back end with the Thunderbirds.
Well, as everybody knows, the Kelowna Rockets trying to erase a 3-0 deficit tonight, trying to become just the second team to be able to do that in the WHL playoffs. Spokane did it in 1996. It was a while ago, but boy, a lot of good memories for them still of that 96 run.
I had a wonderful conversation today with Tim Speltz, the longtime general manager of the Spokane Chiefs, and frankly, Andy, one of my favorite guys, one of the classiest guys in the whole league. And he was actually excited to reflect back on 1996 when Spokane was the number 1 seed. Portland was a team that kind of underachieved early in the year and really came on. They were the 6th seed. Spokane loses the first game at home in overtime. Portland gets on a roll. They lead 3-0. Now here's the 2 interesting parts. In Game 6 of that series, Tim reminded me today, his team had to pull the goalie in Portland to tie Game 6 in the last minute, won it in double overtime, and then went home and won Game 7 in overtime. It's only been done once. It's not easy to do, and it's fabulous to be back here tonight. And I asked him, were there turning points? What were the keys? He said a couple of things. Well, my head coach was pretty good. His name was Mike Babcock. And he also gave all kinds of credit to a strong foundation and crew of players. And that was a team that, after reeling off 4 straight wins, went all the way to the league final before they lost to the Brandon Wheat Kings in the 1996 Championship Series.
Well, speaking of strong foundations, the Kelowna Rockets certainly have one, and a couple of guys you wanted to talk about, one being Lauren Fry, who's been in the business for quite a long time and maybe has been overlooked at times.
I don't ever think Lauren Fry, who's been an assistant GM and more importantly the director of player personnel, has maybe received the type of credit. You go through their list, as I have in the last couple of days, and you take a look. Every year, this is a team that finds 3, 4, 5 players in every age group that can play. You want to know why the Kelowna Rockets are always competitive and a very good team? Because of Lauren Fry, his great group of scouts, and how do you like his first-round pick from 2012? Nick Merkley. What an unbelievable first period for this product of Calgary. Calgary Midget Buffalo this year was a point a game. Last year, I must have watched him 20 times in Bantam hockey. He plays when it's difficult. I watched him play in a series last year where he was on 2 ankles that he shouldn't have been playing and was the star of a second-round series against the Calgary Royals. When it's on the line, this kid's got it going on. What a bright future for Nick Merkley.
We got about less than a minute to go, but Seattle's rebuilding, and you were talking about the defense of Seattle. It's a young group, and obviously they've had high draft picks. Matthew Barzal was still waiting to know if he's going to be a Seattle Thunderbird next year, but what about the rebuilding process for Seattle? Maybe a chance to get into round 2.
I think Steve Konowalchuk's done a great job behind the bench. I think Russ Farwell and his staff have done a really nice job, and the strength of this team, you look at a Shea Theodore, you look at the Jared Hoff, the Taylor Green. Those guys are all 17, Andy. They have bright futures. Another youngster playing tonight, just 16 years of age. Forsberg's the only 19-year-old. So I love their defense going forward. The 2 import players, Delnoff and Lipsbergs from Latvia, they will very likely return next year. It's starting to come together. And what will Matthew Barzal do? Son, jump on board and be a part of it. We need you in the league. You're an unbelievable young talent.
And thanks to Peter Loubardias. Enjoy the rest of the game. We'll see you in the second intermission.
I'll be back.
Doyle Potento of the Kelowna Daily Courier on the other side of the break. Still scoreless here in Game 7 of the Cal Tire Western Conference quarterfinal at Prospera Place in Kelowna on the WHL on Shaw. Inside the Seattle Thunderbirds dressing room through 1 period of play, scoreless with the Kelowna Rockets in the 7th and deciding game of this Cal Tire Western Conference quarterfinal series. Back at WHL Central, brought to you by Sierra Sill, alongside Doyle Potento from the Kelowna Daily Courier. What a first period. And you get the feeling that if Seattle stays close, it certainly favors them.
Overtime. I'm calling it right now. Double overtime. If Kelowna doesn't, if Kelowna doesn't run away with this offense and the scoring chances they're getting, they don't make this 4-0, 5-0, 6-0 after a time, because it's the Brandon Glover show right now. Absolutely the MVP of the series. They don't make a score like that. Seattle 3-2 in double overtime. And I say double overtime because if you go back to the 96 Spokane Chiefs, they went to 7 games. How'd they do it? Game 6, double overtime. Game 7, overtime. Last night it was overtime, so let's reverse it. Double overtime. That's my call.
People were raving about the game last night in Kent, Washington,
Awesome.
That Game 6. You were there.
Yep.
Just give us a sense of what that game was like, because we've been hearing how great of a game it was, maybe one of the best junior games of the year.
Well, that's because they have this thing called a $2 special. $2 a beer. It's a well-lubricated crowd. How do you not have fun in an atmosphere like that? Marketing guys, jump on this thing. Swift Current does it. Congrats to the Broncos. I love that. But no, it was a loud crowd. They're energetic. They're fun. They're behind their team. It was one of those games where you don't know what was going to happen. They'd be rushing down ice. Any chance could score. You didn't know if Seattle was going to pull it off with a clean goal or if Kelowna was going to have sort of a rebound. Miles Bell, great shot. Sort of a muff save by Brandon Glover. Too bad for Seattle on that. Now we got a Game 7, but fantastic atmosphere. All the U.S. cities, I know Canadian fans really love their hockey, but the U.S. teams, they don't get enough credit for the support, for the vocal support that they do. I love going down to the U.S. rinks and just seeing how loud and how energetic their fans are.
So what was the feeling in Kelowna? Down 3-0, all overtime losses. What was the feeling? Did people think it was lights out?
Graveyard City. I mean, everybody's talking about, getting swept and serious changes all the way throughout. They eventually got to Game 4, Game 5, and, now at the point where they're sort of expecting Kelowna to win. They're sort of, yes, we can beat, Seattle. Bring it on, Kamloops. I don't like Kelowna's chances if they win, but hey, right now the atmosphere is pretty positive. A lot of upbeat atmosphere. Went outside today, talking down the street and at work, and just a lot of people talking about the Rockets and how jazzed up they are. So yeah, there's an upbeat atmosphere. Seattle, their dressing was a little quiet today, and so it should be. I mean, 3-0 lead and you blow it, yikes.
Let's talk about Kelowna's injuries. A couple more as the series went on. Obviously banged up going into it. Colton Sissons, obviously the biggest name of the group. But what about those injuries and the impact that it's had? We've seen Nick Merkley jump in, and he's done a well of a job.
Yep. Yeah. I was just talking to one of the former Kelowna coaches. We talked about the 2009 series. In that series, the Rockets in 2009 had a fantastic team. Won the league title. One of the toughest series they had, though, was against Tri-City, and they bombed them physically. I mean, the injury list at Tri-City, you can ask Don Knockbauer, who was coaching that team now with Spokane, about how bombed his team got. I mean, it was separated shoulder. One guy had 2 separated shoulders. I mean, it's just a laughing list of injuries. That's what Kelowna's going through right now. I mean, this is terrible. Yeah, they win tonight. Sure, great for them. After that, 7 guys, injuries, that's just too much to ask for. Their history after this. I mean, how do you lose? How do you win a series with 7 starters out of the lineup? The answer is you don't.
And it's Saturday night, so at least they get a couple of days off, but boy, that would be a tough challenge. As you mentioned, it would be Kamloops in round 2 for
Kelowna. It would be Kamloops, and if they've got a pretty good history like that, Kamloops defense, they're sort of big on the back end, just like Seattle's. And to me, that's where the real punishing aspect would be. Kelowna's forwards would come in, and they just won't have the grind to be able to chip in and get clean shots, because they just don't have the offensive horses that they have right now, or during the regular season that they had, to eventually score on Kamloops. Kamloops is just too big back there. Their goaltending is too strong, and if you don't have enough horsepower to get past it, it's Kamloops in a walk.
Well, it should be interesting. It should be an interesting final 2 periods tonight, maybe even double overtime this evening. Who knows?
Yeah, the one thing to look for is, if I'm Kelowna, don't make bad shots. Don't miss the net. You've only got 4 real defensemen, and when you miss the net, you're forcing your guys to go all the way back and chase. That's going to kill their energy. Come the third period, these guys are going to be tired. And what's going to happen in the third period? Seattle's going to surge on. So if they're going to get their shots on net, don't miss the net like a dummy.
Many thanks, Doyle.
You betcha.
There's Doyle Potent over in the Kelowna Daily Courier. Just a reminder, for all information on the Western Hockey League, just go to its website, www.whl.ca. Highlights from all the playoff games, schedules as well. Just go there for round 2 information, which will be coming up. We'll at least know the Western Conference side of the ledger after tonight. And RE/MAX is proud to support the Western Hockey League and excited to offer fans a chance to win $25,000 in home entertainment prizes. To enter, visit WHL.ca and click on the RE/MAX Home Team Contest button. RE/MAX, official realtors of the WHL. No score between Seattle and Kelowna. Look at Jesse Forsberg inside the Seattle dressing room. Second period on the way next.
Back in the Okanagan, Dan Russell alongside Bill Wilms. 1 period in the books in Game 7. Nothing to show for it on the scoreboard, but Bill, Kelowna sure had a lot of good chances.
Yeah, they did. And Seattle had a couple 12-6 shots on goal, but this is Jared Hoff, Dan. A turnover at the neutral ice area. Watch him. Look at how he just bounces off players. Glover, absolutely no chance to take him to the ice. That's the value of size. You hope that the Seattle Thunderbirds benefit with that all over the ice. But that's a good scramble. That's around the net, and Jordan Cook's got to find that puck. Again, chances here. Cody Fowley, watch this nice little back pass. This is pretty clever. That's to maintain possession in the offensive zone. And you're going to see Dylan McKinley with a pretty good chance at the side of the net. Coming up right here. When that puck stays in deep like that, now it's in front. Stop it right there. Jared Hoff in front of the net, 33. When he cuts to his right, that leaves Ryan Olsen open in front. There's the chance he hits the post. Ryan Olsen still looking for his first ever playoff goal. Comes that close off the post. And how about Merkley, number 10, all by himself, 15-year-olds. Watch this, guys. Stop it there, guys. Count all the blue shirts on one side of the ice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all there. That's the T-Birds. Watch what Merkley does here. He just addresses everybody, the chance, the shot. Now, I want to show you Glover, Dan. This is a pretty calm 20-year-old. Nothing to it. That's just a kid coming in on me. Glover, great position, makes a simple save, and keeps his score 0-0.
And there's your shots on goal, 12-6 in favor of the Kelowna Rockets, who had 2 power plays to 1 for Seattle in the opening period. So in the second period in this series, Seattle has actually outscored Kelowna 4-3. Bill mentioned earlier the first period had been dominated by the Rockets, 12-5 on the goal differential in the first period. So let's see what happens here in the second. We start this period with the teams at full strength. Martin goes back to collect the puck. Martin all the way back deep in his own zone and makes a nice little turn, but there's a shot off the boards. And it's knocked down. Martin has trouble with it, though. Lockhart trying to move in, but it rolls off his stick. Bell chops at it. He had lots of time, but he didn't know he had lots of time. He just handed it away to the point man. Now the puck goes around on this near side. Lockhart puts it in front, and that one's tipped off the target. Bell having a tough time on this shift, just dumps it over on this near side. Lockhart throws it through the goal mouth area. Comes back out to the blue line. Houth puts it behind the net. This is the best Seattle pressure maybe we've seen in the game so far. Lockhart takes that pass at the pretty good opportunity and where he was, but it went way up high. Nobody knew where the puck was. It fell in that far corner. Lockhart trying to dig it out once more. The Seattle pressure continuing here, and the Rockets finally get it out, and here comes Franco in over the line. Franco cut off by Forsberg. Good job by Forsberg. Forsberg lead pass up for Swenson, but it goes off his stick, and Stadel has it now for Kelowna, with both teams making changes. 1:20 into this second period. There's Kirkland flipping it in. Kirkland on the ice. Justin Kirkland, a 16-year-old, getting action here because of all the injuries. Goes back to the line. Shot, save, rebound, and it's just poked off the stick as an opportunity right there for Bailey, and he couldn't get clear possession of it. Bowley goes all the way in. He gave away the puck. There's a centering pass, and it was Cambites who just failed to get the pass. Kelowna made an error behind the net, and they almost paid a dear price for that. Now it's swept around the boards. You get the feeling something might happen here in terms of a goal. It's pretty loose right now. Chances at both ends. The stick is broken. Not sure whose that is. It goes out to the neutral zone, and Martin collects it. Broken stick belonged to Seattle's Cambites. He gets a new one. Kirkland puts the puck in deep, trying to get it for Kelowna's Lineker, number 26, but he cannot. T-Birds get it out to center. 2.5 gone here in the second. Heffling gets the puck. Martin. He comes back with it. Lead pass. And shot in. Lineker. McKinley out towards the blue line. Held in nicely by Martin, but just barely. McKinley gets it behind the net. Lineker comes in, collects the puck on his backhand. A hard pass, misses everybody, and it goes down the ice. Martin goes back to get it. Heffley's got it now. Trying to get himself some room. Martin has it. Yeah, there were 7 goals last night, but after the first period, they played 2 periods like we've been seeing here tonight.
Exactly. It was 40 minutes of not, no chances. There were chances. Boy, everybody was on the edge of their seats in that one last night, but they really settled it down. After you say, Dan, giving up 6 in period 1, 3 each.
Lugged out by Goulburn, shot right back in by Seattle, and going back to get it is Bowie. He's lined up. Nice little check there by Holub, and that causes a turnover as Seattle continues to work the body, and that's going to be their key, as they've got so many big bodies in those blue-shirted T-Bird uniforms, and they're hoping that they can just wear down Kelowna enough to steal Game 7 here and advance to play Portland in round number 2. From the blue line, Seattle moving in, trying to get the chance there for Speedo, but it's lost, and here's a break the other way, and a partial hook, but Goulburn keeps going. Goulburn makes a move, but he can't get by the last Seattle player there. That was Wardley, and out they come. Wardley got the puck out for Kolesar. He sends it in, then heads to the bench on a line change. First goal looming very large here tonight. Here comes Franco. Franco, his pass cut off. Olsen gets it back. Bell now with it. Out to the line. Martin puts it behind the net. Franco. Olsen. Severson with the skates. Holding it in. He gets it down low. It's Kelowna's turn for some zone time. Bell now gets it to Olsen. Rolls off his stick. Olsen back to Severson. Severson holds and then fans on his shot. Or pass, and Seattle comes out of their own zone. They're led by Lipsbergs. Roberts Lipsbergs brings it in over the line, but it's poked off his stick. Lockhart tries to follow it up, and he does. He'll send it right back in again, and Cook gloves it down, leaves it for Severson. Long stretch pass. Franco takes it. Franco going wide. Franco checked off the puck by Smith, but Fowley comes in to get it. Fowley spinning, gets it back for Franco. Franco trying to get himself some room. Franco switches it back on the cycle. Fowley. Now Bailey. Bailey on his backhand, head up. Chant in the building is Go Rockets Go, and here they are in front of the net, and the stick went towards the goal, but the puck did not. Stadel from the line. Hard pass over the far side. Seattle player without a stick. That's defenseman Faulk. He goes and picks up his stick, so that's a good break for Seattle, but they don't have the puck yet as it's centered. Chance for Bailey. Takes a move, but he can't get himself some room. Faulk gets it for Seattle, and he knocks it off the boards and out. Race for the puck. Svensson follows it up, throws it in front of the goal, and what a great chance for Seattle, and they do not cash in yet. Cambite's shot is blocked. Cambite's had the second opportunity. Svensson was right there. Also in there was Sanvito, and Seattle with one of their best chances of the game, unable to score and get themselves their first lead in terms of 1-0 in this series.
As Cambite's following that play up, puck comes to the front of the net, but a good job clearing it by the Kelowna Rockets. This is a good chance by Cambite, and look at that puck just bounce out far enough that Delnov cannot get a stick on it.
Won by Seattle, the face-off, and it's dumped behind the net. And they get it off the cycle and backhand onto Cook, and he makes the save. For Kelowna, there's Nyberg. Long pass, that doesn't click for McKinley. Elliott trying to get it. Sheen follows it up. He puts his shot wide of the net. Elliott. Johnson, centering pass for Seattle. Elliott trying to get a stick on it. Elliott on his backhand. Plays it out here. Wardley from the line. Elliott trying to chase it behind the net. He goes in front of the goal, but he's got a big reach, and he tries to work it in front and cannot. Seattle getting chances here, but Kelowna also skating well through the neutral zone, or are they? Back the other way. Theodore, he overskates the puck. Lineker gets it for Kelowna. I mean, it goes without saying that you always want the first goal, but the way the game is going right now, you really feel the importance, especially at this stage. Let's go to Stu Walters.
Dan, you were mentioning some of the players getting worn down, and fatigue certainly playing its part in this series. A lot of road miles between Seattle and Kelowna, especially with Game 6 and 7 on back-to-back nights. The Rockets arrived in Kelowna about 4 a.m. this morning. The visiting T-Birds, they got into town about 5:30, just before sunup. They went to the hotel. They had a 4-hour nap. They woke up at 9:45 for mandatory breakfast to refuel, recharge, then back to sleep for more replenishing. So not ideal circumstances, but that's how they wanted to do it, just to make sure they're replenishing their bodies in this tough time. There you go.
Goulburn brings the puck in over the blue line, puts it behind the net, gets it back again and right through the goal mouth, but no white-shirted Rocket jersey there to tip that one in. There's Heffley throwing a check on Kolesar, and there's a glove hand pass as Kolesar had broken his stick. And we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone.
And a couple 20-year-olds really making a mark in the playoffs and goaltending. That series we did with Medicine Hat and Saskatoon, what a job landing it in. And how about 20-year-old Brandon Glover here from Victoria? Two great performances. Cam Lanigan, his save percentage was .976 in the series we did. That's still number one in the playoffs. And how about the performance of Brandon Glover last night and tonight?
And after the game last night, he said, we'd take a game 7 at the beginning of this series. You give us that chance, we'll take our chances. Now, nobody asked him, what if you get up 3-0 in the series? You still want that one? Falk has the puck. But very, very, very much obviously in this game right now. And you feel them coming on a little bit. And as it goes on, they've weathered the first period storm. Can they keep weathering? Franco's got it. No, he doesn't. Not anymore. Delnov, his pass. That misses Lipsburg. Seattle follows it up, but they're well offside, so Kelowna has a chance to move the puck. Lead pass. And back it goes. Severson, cross ice to Stadel. Final game of round 1 of the WHL playoffs, and round 2 begins right away tomorrow in Calgary. Smith brings the puck in over the line. Going hard is Cambites on the backhand. Cambites throws it in front, and it goes to Goulburn, and he tries to skate out with it. Goulburn gets loose. There he goes. Goulburn hit the goalpost. Goulburn got in there, and he hit the goalpost. What a burst of speed by Tyrell Goulburn. Still 0-0. Martin does a good play there, but he gets it away. Here's a chance, and Vito! What a save! Rebound! Cook up in the air, the puck is still loose, and it's swatted away. Chances at both ends. Long shot off the post, or is it in? It's a goal. Seattle has scored. Seattle from the line. That shot goes all the way in and came out that quickly, but the red light is on, and the T-Birds, for the first time in this series, have scored first.
You know, we talked about crashing the net. Seattle's done a nice job of that. They've weathered the job at both ends of the ice. When they can penetrate the slot area, they are going to be dangerous. But interestingly enough, it's this play right here at the point with that great forechecking Seattle team creating pressure in the slot area that when it comes back to Wardley, does that puck end up in the net? He's the guy with the overtime winner in this series. I think it is unbelievable. He had 3 goals in his career. He's got a couple in the playoffs. He gives Seattle a 1-0 lead.
Here comes Kelowna. Bailey, drop pass, shot on goal, saved by Glover. Rebound, it's in, they score! They come right back and tie it. It's 1-1, and that one barely got over the line.
Yeah, that's the way you come back on a bump-up shift after being scored upon. This is Bailey. He gets some time, he gets some space, makes the backhand play, and Bailey is the guy who made that original attack. He was the guy on the entry, he's the guy with the draw pass, and Bailey's the guy with getting that puck to the net. Maybe one Brandon Glover would want back. It really doesn't matter. Bailey is 5th of the playoff. And boy, oh boy, was it important for Seattle to not let this team play with a lead for very much. They haven't done so. We're tied at 1.
Bailey from Fowley at 9:17. Stadel the second assist. Seconds after Seattle had scored. And here's the Rockets again. McKinley, hard pass. Nyberg's got it. Yeah, that first goal is so important, as I mentioned. It answered back that quickly. You just don't know. Okay, the next goal, it feels like it might be.
Yeah.
Nyberg going in there. Puck loose. And now Seattle has it. Here's Riley Sheen. He's knocked off the puck. Lineker, cross ice. Tipped in by Kelowna halfway through the second. Shot in and going to get it for the Thunderbirds is Griffin Falk. Having trouble. All tied up. Lost the puck. Franco tries to backhand it cross ice. It was knocked down. Severson in front for Franco, and he redirects it wide on the net. Bell lost the puck. Shot out by Seattle. Shot back in by Kelowna, and it's offside. And I think we're going to have a chance to catch our breath with 9:26 to go in the second period of game number 7. It's Seattle and Kelowna tied at 1 on Shaw.
Here with Rockets head coach Ryan Huska. And Ryan, following a pretty crazy sequence of events there, was it nice to see your team finally capitalize on one of their chances there?
I think it was important that we responded fairly quickly after they scored. So that was big for our group, and now we got to try to keep momentum up.
How proud are you of your 4 key defensemen playing a lot of minutes, injury-depleted lineup right now?
They've done a great job. That's what it's all about right now, is you have to be courageous this time of year, and they're doing that for us.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Guys.
Well, these 2 goals came back-to-back quickly. Evan Wardley, a shot from the point after some pretty good forechecking pressure. They don't get it out, the Rockets. There's the goal. 13 seconds later, Tyson Bailey is going to tie this game at 1. A lot of work, a little bit of a bad angle shot there. How does it get past Glover? It does, and Dan, that 13-second lead that the Seattle Thunderbirds played with, add that to the 16 minutes that they've played in the series so far, and it certainly isn't very much.
Those 2 goals are just 13 seconds apart, 9:04 and 9:17, the time of the scoring plays. WHL on Shaw. Well, we're very pleased to have as one of our proud sponsors, Jack Links, an official partner of the WHL. Jack Links, feed your wild side. So 9:18 to go in the second period. Kelowna and Seattle in game number 7, tied 1-1. Rockets have the puck. Olsen tries to bring it in over the blue line. Now it is Forsberg collecting it. Forsberg gets the puck all the way out to center ice, but it's broken up there. Bell has it. Bell brings it into Olsen. Olsen in over the line. Olsen takes a shot, and it's Brandon Glover who held it out. Puck just dropped to the side of him. Now here comes Seattle out of their own zone. Shot in by Delnoff. Cook will sweep it around the boards. Lockhart tries to move the puck into the corner. There's a centering pass, comes out to Houff, his shot, and that is saved by Jordan Cook, and he holds on to stop the play.
We've been talking about this right off the top. Really dangerous players. 2 forwards for this Seattle team, Robert Lipsberg and Alexander Delnoff. Best 1-2 Euro punch in my mind in the Western Hockey League. Get this, their combined 5 goals and 5 assists for 10 points. Delnoff and Lipsberg are a +8. You add Luke Lockhart on that line, Riley Sheed, and the prize play of Jesse Forsberg. You got some dangerous forwards.
That shot goes off the stick up high, and the Rockets come up with possession. Bailey puts the puck down. Fowley trying to get his stick on it. Long shot. That's turned aside by Glover. As the song goes, all eyes on us. The entire league watching this one. The Portland Winterhawks wondering who they're going to play in the next round. Kamloops Blazers wondering who they're going to be playing in the next round. All the WHL onlookers curious to see if we'll see the biggest upset points-wise in the history of this league. And with just over 7 minutes remaining, here's McKinley putting it over top the net into the second period. And it gets cautious again as it's brought in now by McKinley. Lineker's following it up, puts it behind the net. It's off the stick and out of play. It must have hit the screen, and we get a whistle.
Well, we're 1-1 here. It's 7:37 left in period 2. You take a look at the OTs on the right. That's pretty much the story so far of this series. In fact, if you go to the second last game there, Kelowna 4, Seattle 3, boy, the only game that's been a difference, 4-0 for the Kelowna Rockets. That was in game 3. It was important for them to get back into this series. And we're right back to that tight checking, tight playing, and a 1-1 tie. Doyle Pottentoe. I love the guy. Great interview in between praise. What did he say? Double overtime.
Yeah, he calls double.
He doesn't mince any words about it.
Svensson holds the puck, throws it to the corner. Puck knocked up to McKinley. These teams have played Game 7s twice in their last recent history. Well, 2008, Seattle won 4-2. Remember Bud Holloway? He scored in that game. And in 2003, Tyler Spurgeon had 2 goals for Kelowna in their 2-1 win in Game 7 against Seattle. That one goes through the goal mouth area. So the last 3 times these clubs have met head-to-head, they've all gone the distance, and the 7th game has always been in this rink. Severson Now down to Goulburn. Goulburn behind the net, being checked, but still has the puck. Lost it now, and Cambites will come out. Cambites out to the neutral zone. So disappointed was he when he was traded by Saskatoon, and yet he's playing longer than his former team in terms of the WHL playoffs. Trying to make sure this is not his final game. Played in Saskatoon, but most of his time in Red Deer, where he was once the captain of the Rebels. Franco puts it behind the net. There's Olsen. Olsen puts it in front of the net, and that goes over top on the backhand. Severson on the pinch. Now Bell. Opportunity for Kelowna, but that's poked wide. Franco collects it. Franco, a little bit of room, and that's cut off in a hurry as it goes off the stick, and it's out of play.
Zach Franco having, I think, the kind of series that the Kelowna fans would have expected. Played the 6 games. He's got 2 goals. He's got the 3 assists, 5 points. You know, for the 19-year-old from Winnipeg, there's no doubt Zach Franco had that great year as a 17-year-old, slipped a bit at 18 and came back strong as a 19-year-old. Dan, he's got good hands, boy. If he gets inside position, certainly he can finish.
Face-off won by Kelowna. They backhand it behind the net. There's Fowley waiting for it there. Fowley switches it back to Bailey. Bailey also on his backhand. A little bit more zone time by Kelowna. Seattle had some of that earlier in this period. Bailey on the cycle. There's a shot, knocked down, and it is controlled by Theodore, and he gets it out to center. A race for it there. Martin trying to control the puck, and he does a good job for Kelowna. Lead pass. Here comes Bailey in over the line. His pass is cut off, though, as Jared Smith was waiting for it there. And back deep in their own zone is Kirkland. Justin Kirkland chased all the way back. Comes around this near side to Bailey. Bailey gets it up to Martin. Martin, back it goes. Jumping into the rush is Bowie. Bowie squeezed out of the play by Smith, but not before he gets the puck to the corner. Centering pass, nothing but blue-shirted T-Birds there. And they're coming up with Kolasar. He dumps it to the corner and gets it himself. Sharp angle, puts on the brakes, tries to get some room. Puts it behind the net now. Centering pass, but it's right onto a Rocket stick, and out they come. Bailey takes it. Bailey in over the line. Bailey with room, shoots! And that goes over top the net. A rising shot by Bailey. Another one from the far boards. That one taken by Severson. Stadel now puts it towards the net. Knocked down there. More pressure by McKinley and company as he puts it to the far side, but it tips up high. Stays in the rink, though. Rockets out of the corner. Tries to wrap around. In front! Over top the net. What an opportunity for McKinley. He's had 2 great chances tonight. Missed in the first period at the side of the net, and that one he whistled high over top the Seattle goal. McKinley shaking his head, no doubt. It stays 1-1. McKinley tips it back into the Seattle zone. Glover in his trapezoid. Plays it around the boards. Battle there, and it's held in by Lineker. Lineker gets the puck down low, trying to work it in front there. Was Glover, comes back to the line, a shot, and the other Glover makes the save with the right pad. As Martin took the shot from the blue line. Shots in the game are 21-13 in favor of Kelowna. They've had 9 in this period. And that puck goes out of play with 3:33 to go in the second.
How many times have I said this, that when you pinch, you do it for 2 reasons, to keep the play alive or to make a play. Here you see Severson with a terrific pinch. He's number 7. What a calmness, a presence of mind to go to this spot here. Watch this, go behind the net, and who does he find in the high slot area? McKinley, right there. He leans on it, and it just goes over top of the net.
Just over 5,500 on hand here in Kelowna. Not quite a sellout, but they only had the 1 day to sell the game. Here's a chance on the wraparound, and it's Clemency, and the puck was just loose there for a moment, and Goulburn couldn't get his stick on it. Goaltender Glover lost his stick. He gets it back again as the puck came out to the neutral zone, delayed offside. And there's a lead pass that Swenson backhands in. Well, there's no doubt who's had the better scoring chances in this game, but that doesn't matter. It's still a tie game, and it's anybody's game and thus anybody's series here as we get into the late stages of the second period here in the Okanagan. Franco, lead pass up for Bell. He tips it in. Glover on the backhand, pets it out, and here comes Seattle through the neutral zone, led by Delnoff. Delnoff, his shot is tipped out of play, and we'll get a face-off in the Kelowna zone.
You know, I've been so impressed with Brandon Glover's net presence, the calmness that he brings. Watch him here. I mean, he's just so calm to make that move over there. And I want you to watch the very end of this. See his arm down? His arm goes down in the crease just in case here. Watch it. He comes out and he just makes sure that if you're going to beat him on that side, you're going to have to put it over top of his arm.
Kelowna wins the defensive zone faceoff. Severson gets it to Bell, who plays it out here to the open wing. Franco trying to chase it down. Stadel sends it in. Delayed offside, though, as Olsen was in too soon. Arm is up in the air, so Seattle has a chance to move it out freely. And they do just that, but Bell gets it back again. Here's a 3-on-2 for Kelowna in over the blue line. Bell leading the way. Tries to get it by Forsberg, and he couldn't. Forsberg with a good defensive play. Delnoff now for Seattle, starting out of his own zone. Delnoff gets it to Lipsbergs, and he could not get it in deep. Here comes Seattle. They might have some numbers here as they bring it in. Olsen gets it to Bell. Bell holds, waits, pass to the point. No shot yet. Now the shot, and that hurts. Hit Forsberg, and he's slow to get up. Bell on his own rebound can't get there. Forsberg limping as he gets up to his feet. Kelowna keeps the puck down there. It's a long change for Forsberg. Struggling to get the puck. Forsberg still working for it. His teammates trying to help him out. Can they get it out? Not yet. Martin holds it in. Martin still holding it. Pass to the side. Franco in front, and he's taken down. Where's the puck? It's in the skates of Olsen. He couldn't get it. Fans are booing. They thought there might have been a penalty there as Olsen was tied up. Meantime, Severson ties up his man, and we get a whistle on a glove, hand, pass. What action in the Seattle zone.
You know, Miles Bell has a 95-plus mile-per-hour shot. And, you know, Forsberg, the beneficiary of that particular shot. Lots of guts. He goes out, and he's going to make this block. It's set up for Bell. There's Forsberg with the block. I don't know if he was trying to get out of the way a little bit. But, you know, the Kelowna Rockets do a good job after that of maintaining pressure and getting another opportunity in close.
Folk fell in his own zone. The Rockets trying to get it, but they cannot. Good job by Seattle to get it out of their own zone. Fowley breaks it up, but here they come. 2-on-1 for Seattle. Sanvito passes. Svensson Sanvito is stopped on the doorstep by Cook. Oh, that's the greatest save of this game, and Cook just made it. Has he made a better one in the series? Well, we can't answer that, but that was a big save by Jordan Cook on a 2-on-1 by Seattle, and now a Kelowna penalty as Svensson was dumped in his own zone. Goalie to the bench, extra attacker as Cam bites. Knocked off stride, the puck's still there, and here comes Seattle as the delayed penalty continues. Cam bites in over the line. Here goes Elliott right to the net, and he is stopped, and the play is blown down on the delayed penalty, and the fans are booing here in Kelowna. But in the last minute of the second period, the Rockets will go to the man advantage.
Yeah, Jordan Cook saying anything you can do, Brandon Glover at that other end, I can do just as well. Madison Bowie, number 4, gets caught up there, forces Martin alone on a 2-on-1. What a great, great save by the left pad of Jordan Cook. And then here you get one more look at the 2-on-1. Watch Cook right there. And then the penalty to Svensson is dumped in the offensive zone, or in his defensive zone, an offensive zone penalty right here for the Kelowna Rockets. And this all with 30 seconds left in period number 1. And Dan, I see 4 minutes on the clock.
Wow. Why is there 4 minutes? Did he get 2 penalties? This is huge. A 4-minute double minor on the board, which will carry over one way or the other.
2 minutes for tripping and 2 minutes for knee. That's Bailey, 2 minutes for
So he got 2
infractions.
infractions, 2 for tripping and 2 for kneeing.
That's
so the
a tough
kneeing
call.
must have been on Cam bites. And Seattle, without a power play goal in the series, are going to have nearly 4 minutes to work with fresh ice when we have the third period about 15 to 18 minutes from now. What a time for Seattle to possibly get a power play goal in this series. 1-1 after 2 periods of play here in game number 7. Let's go back to Andy Neal.
Thanks very much, Dan. Coming up in the second intermission, we will hear from Kelowna's goal scorer tonight, Tyson Bailey, as he has equalized the game this evening after Seattle opened the scoring tonight. We'll also hear from Russ Farwell, the general manager of the Seattle Thunderbirds, and chat with Peter Labardius again in the second intermission. Great Game 7 we have here in Kelowna. It's tied at 1 on the WHL on Shaw.
And welcome back to Kelowna, where after 40 minutes of play, the Thunderbirds and Rockets are tied at 1 apiece. Here with Rockets leading scorer in the playoffs, Tyson Bailey. And Tyson, you draw your team even there 13 seconds after Wardley got the first one there. 13 seconds later, how big was that for your team, and how did you see that one play out?
It was big for the crowd to get back into it. I got a nice pass there, and it was kind of a partial breakaway, but then I heard Fally was calling for it. So I gave him the drop pass, and he shot it, and the rebound came right to me, and I saw Glover move across. I just saw I had 5-hole open, so I just put it there.
Is that the key with Glover right now? Just, jump on some rebounds, because he seems to be playing very well.
Yeah, Glover's been playing very well this whole series. We're just trying to get as many shots as we can at him, and just trying to get the rebounds, but he's been very good this series.
How about for yourself? Are you proud of the way that you've stepped up, but still just 17 years old, to be an offensive leader, leading the team with 10 points so far through these 7 games?
Yeah, I had to step up big when Sis went down. He's our captain, our big leader. He's a big part of our offense too, and I just knew I had to raise my game for playoffs.
How big to start the third period here? You guys still have 3 minutes and 32 seconds of power play time for the T-Birds to kill.
It's a huge kill. Our penalty kill has been 100% all series, so it's, we can rely on them to kill us off and get back in this game.
You saw some playoff action last year, but tell me about the mood in the room before this game, at Game 7. Did you guys feel a little bit of pressure, especially being on home ice, and maybe was that a good pressure?
No, we didn't pressure. We're down 3-0 in the series, and we believe that we can come back. And we came back so far. We just know we can do this one more period.
All right, final 20 minutes. What do we need to see? And would you rule out overtime?
We just got to get pucks in deep and pressure defensemen and get as many shots on Glover as we can. And hopefully, if it goes in overtime, we'll win in overtime.
All right, Tyson, thanks for this.
Thank you.
Head back up to Andy Neal and WHL Central.
Many thanks to Walders and Tyson Bailey as well. Back at WHL Central, brought to you by Sierra Sill with Russ Farwell, the general manager of the Seattle Thunderbirds. Your team is squared at 1 through 2 periods of play. How have you seen this Game 7 so far?
Well, Game 7, I mean, everything's important and every little thing's important, and we're happy to be where we are, I think, right now. Like, we're a little thin with the guys we have out, but both teams are like that, and we, I think our guys have been good. We're playing, and we just want to give ourselves a chance. So right there, at this point, we're fairly happy.
Going into this Game 7, I think for a lot of people, they would think it would be natural for the team to be down on itself going into tonight's game, but how has the team been able to keep things positive going into tonight's game?
Oh, I think we just, right from day one, we felt the pressure was on them. We didn't have anything, everyone told us we didn't have a chance, and our kids have really gone and played. We really played. I thought we were full value when we got the lead in the series. I think we caught them a little by surprise physically, and I think our guys have played. But getting that 4th win is hard, and I think if you haven't been there before, I think we got disappointed in Game 4. We got some penalties and got behind, and we came off it. And Game 5, I think they were real good. They really played, and 6 was, it's overtime. We had some chances and didn't win, so we got to just plow ahead, and that's what we're doing.
Tonight's the first time that your team has scored first in a game, so how proud of you have you been the fact that your team has been able to come back from deficits throughout this series?
Well, you had to keep playing, and when we go to the net and we're involved, we've scored. Most of our goals have been on those kinds of plays. When we don't do that, we have trouble. We don't generate offense easily, and so having the guys we have out are important to us. So we know how we have to play, but I think you can see our guys getting better all the time. Like our D have really come together and played, and I think a lot of guys you can see improving, and it's exciting that way. But we know we've got to grind it out all the time, and that's where we are.
Evan Wardley scored again tonight. It's a young core on the back end for your team. Who has really stepped up, do you think, in this first-round series with Kelowna?
Well, the guy who stepped into our top 6 has been Folk, and Griffin Folk. He's given us, real good minutes, and he's gritty, and he's played, and it's given us 6 guys that can play. I mean, Smith and Hoff have really played, and Forsberg gives us his heart and soul all the time, and we take those guys for granted. We needed that little push, and Wardley's been effective. He's been real physical in the series. We weren't counting on the goals, but he's been pretty effective because he's been physical. But folks given us the 6 guys to really, because they're a good team. I mean, they got lots of balance. They come at you, they can grind it, and then the next line's going. And when you got a weak link there, it kills you. And our guys, because of that, have held up pretty well.
Wanted to ask you about Adam Cambites, former Red Deer Rebels captain who went to Saskatoon prior to the regular season. What has he meant in the leadership that he's brought to Seattle?
Well, he's meant a lot to us. He's really a physical, experienced guy, and he's just been through it before. He's a very competitive guy, and he didn't do it immediately. He kind of took him a while to get comfortable and earn his place. I don't think he's a big speech maker, but down the stretch was very valuable for us when we were in that run for the playoffs. And right now, he really gives us that older guy, and it was like giving us two guys, because not only did he come in and give us that older experience, but it put Lockhart in a different role, and we really saw a spark from Locks down the stretch, because he gave us more offense, and they kind of switched roles a bit, and so it was like getting two players, and it was a real good trade for us.
Very good. Thanks so much for stepping in tonight, Russ, and best of luck tonight. It should be a great
Very good.
period.
Thank you.
There's Russ Farwell, the general manager of the Seattle Thunderbirds. Take a quick time out. We'll come back with Peter Labardius on the other side of the break in a 1-1 tie in Kelowna in game number 7 here on the WHL on Shaw. Inside the Kelowna Rockets dressing room, Evan Wardley opened the scoring for Seattle in the second period. Tyson Bailey responding just 13 ticks later. 1-1 in Game 7 of the Cal Tire Western Conference quarterfinal between Kelowna and Seattle, alongside Peter Labardius here at WHL Central, brought to you by Sierra Cell. Amazing what stayed out tonight, but pretty amazing what's gone in, too.
Absolutely. When you think about the show that both Brandon Glover and Cook have put on, and the two goals in particular, Cook makes 3 unbelievable saves, reaches back with his blocker for the third save, and then, I say it all the time, what happens 5 feet inside your blue line and 5 feet outside goes so far, Kelowna turns it over, Wardley lets it go through a partial screen, and then Kelowna 13 seconds later, Tyson Bailey and Brandon Glover's been so good in this series, that's one he'd like to have back.
So what do you think is going on in the dressing room? What do you think both coaches are saying to their teams getting set for this third period?
To be honest, I'm not sure there's a whole lot left to be said. This has been an unbelievable series. I think it will be memorable. Even if Seattle finds a way to win, needless to say, Kelowna would only be the second team in league history to come back from a 3-0 deficit. It's been a ton of fun to be here, a lot of fun to watch, and it's just flat out, it's a great product for this terrific league.
Let's talk about the Kamloops Blazers, who got through Victoria, who were a banged-up club in 6 games, but the Blazers are getting set, if Kelowna wins tonight, to face them. But what about Kamloops and what they did in the opening round?
Well, let's reflect back to last spring. I think that unbelievable experience that they had, getting off the playoff schneid, winning a round, taking Portland in this very same type of scenario, right? So we talked before the game, how about being down 3-0 and then crawling all the way back? They lose in game number 7 of that series, but the experience their core group received, I think, has really bode well, certainly against a very game Dave Lowry coach Victoria team. But when you talk to me about the Kamloops Blazers, excellent coaching and leadership from J.C. Lapon. We sat together last year in round 1. J.C. Lapon blew me away in the first 2 games. He willed his way this year onto making his country's team at the World Junior and leads playoff scorers with 14 points. Colin Smith, I've chatted a couple of times over the years with Dave Hunchak, the associate coach, who's done such a good job there. And Dave tells me that Colin Smith, there's not a kid who works harder, competes harder. As a matter of fact, Dave's told me on many occasions, you can't get him away from the video, Andy. At times they have to tell him, hey, listen, beat it. Get out of here. You need to take a bit of a break. And who's become an emerging story, he's moved around twice this year, is the big winger who just got dealt the other day from Phoenix to the Edmonton Oilers, and that's Cale Kessie. Always have known since his days in Medicine Hat, big, strong, physical, hard to play against, and again, according to Mr. Hunchak, who I texted back and forth with this afternoon, he's been all that in the first round and a little bit more.
2 hat-tricks in that first series against Victoria, so he's found his stride with 7 goals against the Royals. And Kamloops would get Spokane if Seattle comes out, so how dandy a series would that be? Now, the Eastern Conference side of the ledger, Calgary and Red Deer. Calgary was the second best team as far as record goes in the Eastern Conference against the number 4 seed Rebels, so that could be a barn burner as well.
I think that one has the chance to go a long way. Brent Sutter, Jeff Truitt, the whole group has done an excellent job. To me, they have probably the best goaltender in the entire league, or at least, 1-2 with Laurent Brossoit, who I think so highly of in Edmonton. Bardazak's been unbelievable. you know from a Brent Sutter team what you're going to get. They're going to work. They're going to be hard to score against, and they will be miserable to play against. As a matter of fact, I ran into Brent the other day at Game 5 of the Alberta Midget Provincial Championship, and I said, how you feeling about the next round? And he kind of had that old gleam in his eyes, like, we can't wait for this one. But on Calgary's account, Victor Rask, good first round. Can't say enough good things about Cody Sylvester. This is when it's a team that plays hard, can lean on you with their big defense. They're tough. Rask will be huge, and here's the other guy I'm going to throw out at you. Is this Chris Drieger's coming out party? He's had a really fine season, the third-round pick of the Ottawa Senators. He'll have to do all he can to out-battle Bartoszak. I think he'll be a real key for Calgary in that series.
Quick thought on Edmonton Medicine Hat?
Can't say enough good things after what Medicine Hat did in round one. To me, Edmonton, probably the class of the Eastern Conference. They have so much depth, so much experience. Brossois in playoff form again. They'll be hard to beat. But you better be ready against the Tigers, because if they can continue what we saw against Saskatoon, they're not a lot of fun to deal with.
Many thanks to Peter Labardius inside the WHL. Let's take a look at the Denny's player spotlight tonight, and it's Damon Severson, defenseman for the Kelowna Rockets. Point per game coming into tonight was 7 points in the 6 games prior to this evening with a goal and 6 assists. The New Jersey Devils prospect. He was a second-round pick from Melville, Saskatchewan. And for all information on the Western Hockey League, just go to its website, www.whl.ca. You'll find highlights and links to all 22 teams. And RE/MAX is proud to support the Western Hockey League and excited to offer fans a chance to win $25,000 in home entertainment prizes. To enter, visit whl.ca and click on the RE/MAX Home Team Contest button. RE/MAX, official realtors of the WHL. Third period is on the way next. The Kelowna Rockets getting set, trying to come back from an 0-3 hole. But they're in a battle in Game 7 tonight on the WHL on Shaw.
Welcome back to the WHL playoffs on Shaw. Dan Russell alongside Bill Wilms. And, well, 1-1 after 2 periods play. Let's get to the highlights.
Well, you know, we talk about Kelowna's speed. That's the way you beat a bigger team. Tyrell Goulburn with a lot of speed is going to show you what happens when he puts a couple guys in chase mode. This is Colton Heffley, 25, getting that puck to Goulburn. Goulburn beats 2 pretty good players there in Wardley and Theodore, but as you know, save is made. And here's a chance, the rebound. I'm going to show you something what happens the far left of your screen. Over here, that's Cambites with great pressure on 16-year-old Kirkland. He creates that turnover that Wardley ends up putting on the back of net. Watch it again. The puck is on Kirkland's stick on the far left boards. He can't get that out. That's just great forechecking pressure by Cambites. That's a shot that makes it 1-0. 13 seconds later, Dan. That's all it took. There you go. There goes number 24, Bailey. Drop pass. Bailey gets it back, a bad goal. He told Stu Walters he saw a 5-hole. Boy, I'll tell you, he probably did. There was a little bit of gap there that tied it at 1. Now, hero to what? Well, I'll let you figure it out. There's a trip that could have been called. There's a slash that could have been called. There's a knee that could have been called. It could have been any one of the 3. He got 2 out of 3 for Bailey. He's in the box, and the Seattle Thunderbird, 3 minutes and 32 seconds on the power play.
2 out of 3 ain't bad, but in this case could be for Kelowna. Well, if you haven't seen a second of this series, you've tuned in at the right time. 1 period to decide a 7-game series, and Seattle has not scored a power play goal in the entire series. They are 0 for 25, but they have over 3 minutes to work with at the start of this period with fresh ice. Can they get a power play goal and give themselves a lead? Theodore. Lockhart in over the blue line. Sets it up. Lockhart off this half wall, head up. Where is he going to put it? Lockhart. Hard pass, cross ice. Theodore in front of the net. Shot, save, rebound, save. Right on the doorstep. 2 saves there. The second one off Svensson. Seattle continues to maintain possession. Lockhart puts it behind the net. Svensson missed it there. Race on the far side. McKinley chops it down the ice. 2.5 minutes to go in the double minor. Forsberg back to collect the puck. Both teams have made changes on their special teams here as the Thunderbirds come out of their own zone. Forsberg's pass is way up high and out of play. Face off in the center ice area.
good play in the offensive zone. Lockhart, not surprised. He's involved in the middle of it. Severson gets to the action a little bit late. There's a great cross-ice pass. The T-Birds are trying to get it right there. That's Lipsburg. Look at Severson get there just a bit late. And, boy, he could see his goaltender, Jordan Cook, kind of bail him out a little bit. That was another good couple saves by George Cook.
Green to Cambites. Still lots of power play time left here for Seattle as they shoot the puck into Rocket territory. Goes on the dasher all the way on the far side. Cambites gets possession of the puck. Cambites, nice pass out here to Green. Green takes a shot, and that hits Bowie in the left leg, and he kicks it out of play.
Cambites, 1 goal in the playoffs so far, the 20-year-old from Coaldale. Dan, he played 9 games at Red Deer this year, 33 at Saskatoon, and 30 here at Seattle. And he's played 12 playoff games with the Rebels. He's playing 6 here, total of 4 goals. He's got 2 assists. He's got 6 points. To me, he is a key part of this hockey club.
Face-offs. Really under the microscope right now. Kelowna won that one. Can they get it out? Yes, they do. There has not been a shorthanded goal in the series. Not that Kelowna's thinking shorthanded right now. They just want to kill this. And Seattle brings the puck through the center ice area. Cambites going wide. Cambites plays it back to the blue line. Green puts it behind the net. All tied up there is Colasar. As the puck squirts free, but there's lots of time ticking off the penalty. Finally, Seattle gets possession, comes back out to Smith. Long shot, knocked down in front, it's still loose, and Cook makes the save right on the doorstep. Seattle with a chance there, and getting that opportunity was Keegan Colasar.
Yeah, he's only played 1 game on the season. He's played 1 game in the playoffs, and he gets this close a chance. He's number 28 for the Seattle team. The shot from the point, watch Colasar in front of the net. He's hacking, he's whacking, he can't get a real good second chance, and this game remains at a 1-1 tie.
There's 1:15 left in this power play for Seattle. Can you win a 7-game series without scoring a power play goal?
I wouldn't have bet it.
Forsberg from the line, he puts it off the target. And then crashed into the net is Lockhart. And are they going to call anything here? I don't see any arm in the air. I think this is just net off the pegs, and Lockhart smiling. He's all right, got the mouth guard in. That's always a good idea. And he'll skate away, and Cook is hurt in the goal as the trainer comes out. Cook with his blocker nursing his head, it looks like.
Wow, that does not look good. Let's get a look and see, how does Cook end up in that position there? Luke Lockhart, a 20-year-old. I talked about this in one other broadcast. Luke Lockhart plays this game so hard, and Dan, he's never really, in the trainer's room. Whoa. Look at that. Well, that is, wow.
How does he get away with that?
And he looks up in a real hurry to find out if, in fact, that penalty is going to be called or not.
Well, they may call it in hindsight here, but they didn't have an arm in the air, and Coach Huska is really upset. He has seen the replay. I was watching him look at the overhead screen, and you could see the eyes of Ryan Huska. He is angry right now. His goalie is still down, and Zalaski is getting it from Ryan Huska.
Yeah, you read his lips. He says it's his job to get out of the way.
Well, does he get out of the way? Not quite. I mean,
boy, that's head-to-head contact.
Now, Bowie does hit him ever so slightly at the very end, but, that's one of those accidentally on purpose plays. Cook is back up. Huska's had his words. Now the referee goes to the other coach, Konowalchuk. There's Cook, who's mad. You don't want to lip read that. There's Jackson Whistle, the backup, the one-time Vancouver Giant.
Absolutely no playoff experience for Jackson Whistle at this point.
More lip reading that should not be done.
Does he get pushed here, Dan?
Very slightly, but he is knocked by Bowie. There's no doubt. Watch number 4 in white. If you can see it right here, there's the knock right there. But then, head first. I mean, you know how the players are. If you feel that contact, that's, for many, a green light to keep on going.
It's almost that Lockhart knew where his own head was headed in that situation there. I'm not sure that Jordan Cook realized he was going to go helmet to helmet on that particular play.
Very experienced play by Lockhart. And if he can get away with it. And then Lockhart says, who, me? I didn't do anything.
Bit of a face wash right after that.
Right.
Jordan Cook, 37 wins on the season, tied for most in the Western Hockey League with Andrei Makarov of the Saskatoon Blades. Boy, now Cook wants nothing more than a win here tonight.
And remember, the penalty's still on here. It's 1:08, so they don't call a penalty on Seattle, and they get away with that. If you feel from a Kelowna standpoint, they got away with it. But not only that, Seattle maintains their power play for just under a minute now. Can they break it? And there's Lockhart, who will not be popular if he happens to break the 1-1 tie. Martin tied up. Fans yelling for something there. Emotion starting to ride here. Everything on the line. Lipsburg's back of the net. Comes around this near side. Here's a race for it. Rockets get it and shoot it down the ice.
And I got a feeling that if a T-Bird falls, there's going to be a penalty called. Or rather, a Rocket, I should say. It's going to be a penalty, kind of even things up. This is a guy that's got to get going for me.
Seattle chance. Maybe their last chance on this double minor to set it up. 17 seconds left. It comes around to Theodore. He's got lots of room over here. Theodore moves in. Pass, hard shot, and it bounces off the man in front and wide. And we got action way over on the far boards. And you had Stadel and Forsberg all tied up on the far side, and the penalty is over. Bailey is back on the ice. The fans are on their feet here in Kelowna as the Rockets have killed off a double minor. The game remains 1-1. It's still game on here in Kelowna, and there's a turnover and a pass in front of the net that doesn't get there for Seattle. Franco chopping at the puck. He can't get it out. Severson can't get the puck. Cambites also reaching for it. Here comes Kelowna. Olsen could not get it by Smith. Good defensive play. Jarrett Smith plays it out into the neutral zone, and it goes off the stick, out of play.
You know, Theodore with this shot, Dan, I want you to watch Jordan Cook here. Now, he's just taking a hit to the head, but he kind of realizes there's a deflection that might be there, and he reads that deflection. He sees where that shot is going. Look at it. Nice. See how quickly he got out? About 3 feet there. That made all the difference in the world on that save. Really heads-up play.
18-year-old Jordan Cook really paying the price, giving Kelowna a chance here in the third period. Big penalty kill. Let's see how this game unfolds after the teams are back at full strength here as we near the 5-minute mark of the third period. Shot in. Glover, who hasn't had to do anything yet this period, out of his net, and then Olsen on the sharp angle shot. Olsen again, now Franco. Around the boards it goes, out to Stadel, long shot tips over top the net. As it comes down in this corner, the Rockets are on it, but they hand it away, and the T-Birds try to move it up, but Olsen cuts that off. And we'll see who's going to win this battle. Comes back out to Bowie. Bowie to Stadel. Stadel down to Franco. Franco shooting it, and it's turned aside by Glover. Centering pass, up high, Franco back to the line, long shot, save, big rebound, is swept away by Seattle as Elliott gets possession. Elliott trying to force it out, gets a second chance, gets a third chance, gets some help, and it's Seattle getting it out to the neutral zone. Everything under the microscope right now as Bowie brings it in over the line. Bailey trying to go in. Bowie's in deep. Bailey from back of the goal. He cannot come up with the puck initially, but he's still digging for it as Seattle gets possession, and it's Jared Houff getting it out to the center ice area where Fowley controls. Fowley to Severson in over the line. One move over to Bailey. Pass in skates and back the other way for Seattle. That'll be Delnoff. Getting it to center and all the way in deep. He'll give chase. Delnoff and Martin battling for the puck. Back of the net. Delnoff has it in his skates. Now trying to get his stick on it. He has some help there as Lockhart comes in to get the puck. Lockhart for Seattle. Plays it high back of the net. Martin giving chase on this near side. Another battle. And Kelowna wins that along the boards, and out they come 2-on-2 through the center ice area. Kirkland in over the line. Has Fowley with them. Kirkland behind the net. Can't come up with the puck. T-Birds do. They've got room, but Lockhart couldn't get the pass cleanly. Rockets. Shot in by Fowley, and it's Glover leaving it behind the net. T-Bird stripped to the puck. That was Smith, but Rockets couldn't make something happen initially. And now it is controlled by Seattle, and out they come with Lipsburgs. He shoots it in, and he gives chase. Roberts, Lipsburgs. Spinning and then hit. Play on, say the referees, and Nyberg brings it out. Possible 3-on-2, although it looks more like a 3-on-3, and it really looks more like it's offside.
Cole Lineker doing a good job in his own zone, playing the body in traffic. Might have got away with one a little bit here. Cole Lineker, watch him. He's going to come into the play. Makes a pretty good hit there. And, you know, if you're Keegan Colasar, you're thinking, wait a minute, that one's got to be called. He gets up, big kid, keeps the play alive.
1-1 tie. The goals came 13 seconds apart. You miss those 13 seconds and it's pretty much scoreless.
It is that.
Swenson shoots it towards the front of the net. Bell intercepts. And here come the Rockets. Franco has Olsen on his right. He takes the pass. He takes the shot. And Glover makes the save, but the rebound goes to the Rockets. Bell trying to protect the puck. The overtime hero from last night was Bell. Franco gets the puck. Franco, he's checked. Olsen and Franco working it on the cycle. Olsen has to go in to try to dig that puck out. Olsen, his pass picked off by Theodore. And the Seattle Thunderbirds will come out. Seattle's overtime heroes, Lockhart in game 1, Delnoff in game 2, Wardley in game 3. Hard pass, could be an icing, and it is on Kelowna.
Well, you know, for me right now, the key, if I'm either coach, is I want to make sure that I have back-checking players. You don't want to leave any kind of an outnumbered rush here. This is important to read the play well now with 12-12 left. Yeah, I mean, it's a tiring series. There's no question about it. I would say it's been a grueling series, and I think both coaches definitely want players to help support the puck everywhere on the ice.
Face-off one, but the whistle blows. Boy, that was a clean face-off, and Forsberg was winding up, but they'll do it again. As you look at Andrew Johnson, Saskatoon boy who played 12 playoff games last year with Moose Jaw, got some experience there in their run to round number 2, which ended last year, say, against the Edmonton Oil Kings. Johnson wins that face-off, goes back to the line, long shot through traffic, and it goes wide of the net. Houff had taken the shot. There was a lot of traffic in front, but he couldn't hit the goal. Here comes Bowie. Bowie moves in, shot, save, and a big rebound. Goes right to Seattle, and we got the net off its support, so a face-off will come right back in the Seattle zone.
You know, Madison Bowie, the thing about him is we call him a four-directional skater. He can go, in every direction. He's explosive, heads up the ice. Bowie's always the kind of guy that can lead a rush, or his explosiveness can make a pass to a guy, or for that matter, that ability to skate for Bowie allows him to get back into the play. And if you're that good a skater, that explosive, Dan, you could take a few chances.
Starting to feel like overtime already, isn't it?
You got a feeling, but
not quite.
Yeah, it's getting in that. I always, like to look up at the clock when it was under 10. When I saw, one digit in the minute side, I thought, we're entering a really, really critical part of the period.
It's been so low scoring, and as I say, the two goals came just the flash apart. Merkley going in. Merkley has it poked off his stick. He had a couple great chances in the first, and he flirted with another one there. Goulburn trying to get it. Merkley does. Poked off his stick and out to center ice. Well, who on either team is going to be the hero tonight? Which of these young men is going to snap this tie? And will that goal stand to be the game winner and the series winner? Puck shot in deep. Lockhart first to it. Lockhart trying to center it. Comes off the boards. There's a chance in front. Another chance. And it doesn't reach the net. Two opportunities for Seattle. Fowley starts back the other way. Fowley going in. And it rolls to Glover. Bailey follows it up behind the net. Nice pass. Another chance for Bailey, and it goes high and wide and around the board, but it takes a Kelowna bounce and it stays in. Martin behind the goal. Bailey trying to get it. Also out there is Kirkland, number 23. Buzzing around there. Severson trying to keep the puck in. Severson trying to feather it down to Bailey. Smith working hard along those boards, but it is Seattle who gets possession of the puck, and it's Lipsburgs who gets it out. There's Fout. We heard Russ Farwell raving about in the intermission with Andy Neal, the general manager of the T-Birds. Talked about how valuable number 4 has been for Seattle. Theodore. Now Sanvito. Off the boards, out to center ice. We are halfway through the third period of Game 7, and it's 1-1. Bell in over the line with Olsen. Back for Bell. Bell throws it back to the line. Stadel on the one-timer, and it sails high and wide and bounces over into the slot area, but is swept away. And here comes Seattle in transition. Swenson in over the line. Slap shot, and that rises over top the net, and it hits the screen, and it's out of play. And there's 9:41 to go. And yes, we can catch our breath here in Kelowna tonight. 1-1, Game 7 on Shaw. The Western Hockey League and Saskatoon Blades invite fans to experience the action of the Memorial Cup. The ticket packages are available, and there's where you get the information at SaskatoonBlades.com.
1-1 tie here in Kelowna in Game 7. You want to score first if you possibly can. And here's Wardley, the shot coming from the point, right into the back of the net. Don't know if that hit something or not. That's number one. Try to score first, and if you get scored on first, folks, you want to answer back quick. Well, how's 13 seconds for you? Bailey, from that spot, finds a 5-hole, ends up in the back of the net. That's the scoring so far in Game 7 here.
Boy, one of them doesn't even get, 6 inches over the line. That's how close it is. There's Lockhart trying to throw the puck in front. There's a chance for Litzbergs, and that's knocked down. Opportunity there for the 3-goal man in this series, Roberts Litzbergs. Well, he is a dangerous guy, number 29. And he had 30 goals during the regular season to lead this Seattle team. And 58 points. Lineker, his pass goes off a stick. Nyberg giving chase. Nyberg drops it back. McKinley throws it in front. Oh, and it just poked wide. Opportunity was a sneaky one there for Lineker. But Cole Lineker just could not finish it off. In transition, Seattle caught on a change. Lineker shoots. A big rebound off Glover, and that's flipped over the glass. That's flipped over the glass, and with 8:58 to go, what do you know? Delay of the game, and the Kelowna Rockets will go to the power play.
Just a backhand by Evan Wardley. He's going to leave the surface. Look at the positioning of Glover there. The rebound doesn't come out very far, and every guy on the ice has a good look at where that puck ends up going over the glass. Wardley wants a quick look up on the replay to see if, in fact, it is the call. Wow, what an opportunity, folks. 8:58, Kelowna Rockets on the power play.
Franco, Bailey, and Olsen up front. Bell and Severson at the points. Can they snap the tie on the power play? Severson reading the play, but the puck hopped over his stick, and it might be costly. Here's a chance, shorthanded. Lockhart is stopped by Cook. What a save! What a timely save! And it all happened because Severson went in on the pinch, and the puck hopped over his stick. Now here's Kelowna. Severson trying to knock it down at the point, and he chases after it. Lockhart throwing his body, but he missed it as it goes behind the net. Seattle gets possession for a moment, but they're outnumbered, and Bailey has it now. Bailey looking for Bell. Bailey takes his pass at the side of the net. They bang it, the puck, and Glover's there to make the save, and he holds on.
What a shorthanded opportunity. This is what you're talking about. Severson's going to move in on the pinch, and it just hops over his stick. Cam bites away, and number 20 is calling for that puck. He's got to take it on his backhand, and Jordan Cook, who I think is playing his best game of the series, without a doubt, makes that save. Shorthanded chance for Seattle, keeps it at 1.
Lockhart had 25 goals in the regular season. Boy, would that have been huge. Fowley now, down low, give and go. McKinley has a neck in its way, and they lost the puck, and here comes Swenson out of his own zone. Swenson has Sanvito with him as he rolls the puck into the Kelowna end of the ice. A minute to go in the power play. 8 minutes to go in the third. There's another turnover, but the Rockets get it. Nyberg sends his team back the other way. Fowley for McKinley, but it goes to Glover, and he puts his glove over top of it. And we get a face-off.
Dan Riley Stadel really taking advantage of the ice time. When Mitch Wheaton got hurt, Miles Bell was moved to forward. He just loves to play. Riley Stadel, a 16-year-old, +2 in the series, gets every opportunity at every situation for the Rockets.
Back to the blue line. Here's Bell. Now here's Severson. Back for Bell. Bell holds. Severson holds. Back to Bell. Here's his shot. and everybody's ducking as it goes high, and then, ooh, that one was nearly out of the rink as well, as it's cleared by Hauff down the ice. A half a minute to go in the power play. Rockets with a chance here, but time running out with this man advantage. Olsen lost the puck, and down the ice it goes as Seattle's penalty kill doing very well here, and now they have only 18 seconds more to kill off, and they'll be back at full strength. Severson, now to Olsen. Off a stick, it goes up high. Olsen, Bailey, can't get it. Hauff can. Hauff lost it for a moment, gets it back again. Penalty is over. Long shot, knocked down, it's loose in front! They score! Tyson Bailey knocks it home! 6 minutes and 51 seconds remain. It is 2-1 for Kelowna.
Boy, there's a lot of pressure. Count those Kelowna Rockets, all three of them in that corner. There's the pinch. I think I saw the net rock a little bit. No, maybe it didn't. It never did come off its moorings, but you saw pressure in the corner. That was important for three Kelowna Rockets on the forecheck. And not only do they get pressure in the corner, look where that pressure ends up. From the corner of the rink to the front of the rink. And Bailey finds that loose pill right at the side of the net and buries it. 6 of the season.
Fowley had 2 last night. Bailey gets 2 tonight. Olsen and Severson get the assist at 13:09, and Kelowna has their first lead of this game. And time now a huge factor. 6:20 to go as Theodore brings the puck in over the blue line. Theodore has it to Sheen. Sheen takes a shot and it's blockered away. Theodore gets it back again. Tries to get it to Sheen. Sheen's tied up, but Elliott comes in to try to help out. Well, you can get a good close look with our down low camera. And there's a chance for Elliott at the side of the net, but he can't quite get it cleanly. Goes down the ice. Glover out of his own net. Theodore gets possession of the puck. Theodore had 19 goals during the regular season. Does not have one in this series from the back. And he hasn't had a lot of chances in this game, if any. And Fout comes out. 5.5 to go in the third. If the Rockets were to win tonight, that will set up Kelowna and Kamloops in round 2. But it could still be Seattle coming back and making it Seattle and Portland in round 2. As you see Cook hold on to that one.
Dan, I said in the open, we showed you 4 Bailey goals, and I said he gets them off that one post. He's a right-hand shot off the other side. Watch where 24 is going to get this goal. And I said at the time, Seattle's got to find a way to defend Bailey. He's number 24. He's a right-hand shot. Watch where he gets it. We showed you 4 goals from exactly that spot in the open.
Face-off won by Kelowna, but Seattle holds the puck in. Theodore gets the puck down low, and the T-Birds come off the corner. Barnes, they jam at the puck. They're still jamming and jamming and jamming. And somehow, with everybody in that Volkswagen, they keep that puck out of the net. Where is it? I have no clue.
Dan, I got to be honest with you. I watched all of last night's game, and I thought anytime that puck got around Jordan Cook, it was trepidation. You never felt really, really good. I don't know if there's penalties called on this, but Jordan Cook in this position has been absolutely sensational tonight. Watch Adam Camboich. He's going to come off that sidewall, number 26, and this Seattle team is going to take that puck there. And Jordan Cook holds the fort. He knows where that puck is. He didn't know it scooted away from his pads, but he knew it was right there. He knows where that puck is there. He doesn't know it gets to that spot, but he gets a lot of help by white-shirted players coming in to his defense to make sure that loose puck doesn't end up in the net.
And Forsberg at the very end, you watch number 5 come into your picture right at the very end, right there, trying to take a stab at it. Couldn't get it through the maze of players. Here's Seattle again, trying to work it in front. Thunderbirds putting on the pressure, down by 1 now. Behind the net, Swenson. Could we have history in the making here? Only one team has come back You've heard it. Only one in the WHL, 3 in the NHL. 1 in Major League Baseball, never in the NBA. It's a rarity, but Kelowna still has 4:40 to kill. And it's 1 goal. And here's a lead pass. It's McKinley going in. McKinley has it poked off his stick by Forsberg. Forsberg with a good defensive play, but McKinley comes up with it again, throws it in front of the net. It's bouncing there, and then taken out of harm's way by Cam Bites. Both teams making changes. 4:20 to go in the third period in Kelowna. Lipsburg's long pass for Lockhart. Icing as it's missed by Lockhart.
Well, Stu Walters, you got a pretty good seat, pretty good view, pretty good vantage point for the drama between the benches. What can you tell us?
Well, it's pretty hectic down here. Everyone's going around. We got Dan Lambert here with the Rockets telling his defenseman where to be and when to change. And of course, he's only really dealing with 4 of them right now, so they're obviously getting tired. And Connor Walchuk on the other side as well, running up and down the bench, tapping guys on the back, and shortening his bench at that as well. So it'll be an interesting final 4 minutes, guys.
Stadel, Bowie, Severson, and Martin. They've been going with 4 pretty much all night long with all the injuries to the Seattle team, and they've had lots of them. Bell puts the puck towards the front of the net, and it's swept away, and Lipsburg's has possession of the puck. He'll shoot it in. It bounces inside the Kelowna zone deep, and a race for it there. The Kelowna player falling, but getting back up again is Martin. Just in time to take the pass, and the Rockets are out of their own zone, 2-on-1. Heading to the front of the net, and a shot! And Glover makes the save off Franco. In front of that net, going hard there was Lineker.
You know, it's play right behind the Kelowna net. Cole Martin's going to pick himself up, get that puck off that breakout pass. Out come the Kelowna Rockets with speed. Zach Franco decides to take the shot, and watch how calmly. I can't get over this. Glover, I'll take that, buddy. Thank you very much. I got it. The end of that, buddy. Drop the puck.
3:40 to go. Stadel will dump the puck down low. Goulburn puts it towards his teammate, but it was intercepted, and Elliott starts back. Elliott's by himself right now, so he dumps it in, and he'll give chase, and Cook plays the puck over on this near side. Bowie gets it out. Heffley, now Forsberg. Forsberg hit in the neutral zone. Fans respond to that. Bowie behind the net. There were 2 T-Birds right there looking for a mistake, but it didn't happen. McKinley shoots the puck in. There is 3 minutes remaining. 3 minutes to go in game number 7. 50-point differential between these 2 teams, and yet it comes down to the last 3 minutes of the deciding game, and maybe more than that as Theodore gets the puck, and he lost it back to the net. Rockets trying to kill time and maybe get a scoring chance. Severson shoots off the goalpost. Severson hits the goalpost, and it's still 2-1. Lineker puts it behind the net. You can hear that thing all. In fact, I think you could hear it in West Bank. He rang that thing so loud. Severson got all of that. Fans making all kinds of noise here, but not enough that you couldn't hear that crossbar. Martin has possession. Martin over here to Franco. Will he send it in deep? He rolls it in. Olsen giving chase. Olsen trying to get possession of it. Here comes Seattle out of their own zone. It is Cam Bites, 3-on-2. Svensson shoots, and that hits Cam Bites on the way. Cam Bites front, back of the net. Sanvito trying to get it. He can't. Bell gets it. Under 2 minutes to go. The goalie's out already. Extra attacker. Sharp angle shot. Theodore from the line, and that just misses the net. Turnaround shot. Bell dumps it, and out to the neutral zone as Theodore can't hold it in. Minute 40 to go. Flipped in. Bowie to Stadel. Stadel on his backhand. Bowie stripped of the puck. Comes back out to the line. Long shot. That hits Bowie. Chance for Svensson, and he can't get it away. Goulburn racing for it. Goulburn with a good job, and he gets it out to the neutral zone.
Ben, that's 2 clears. I think Kelowna Rockets need 3 more.
That's offside, I think. I cannot hear anything. And is there too many men? I don't think so. Hope not. Just from the game standpoint, I don't think there is, but let's look at the crossbar. Are we going to hear it?
Yep, metal music. Listen. Well, I don't know if that came through or not, but obviously not on a replay. But be that as it may, I've got the Kelowna Rockets stand with 1:18 left. I really think, I said a while back, they need 5 clears out of their own zone. I think they need 3 more.
Goalie is back in. Boy, that was early to get him out. That was 2 minutes to go, and he's racing back to the bench. Glover to the bench, extra attacker. Theodore trying to lug it in. He did, and it hits something and goes out to the neutral zone. And now will Connor Walchuk, with the face-off just outside the Kelowna line, keep his goalie at the bench.
And I'm wondering if, from the Kelowna standpoint, and I like the pressure right now that the Seattle Thunderbirds are bringing. I mean, they are bringing everything. I kind of wondered if maybe Miles Bell might get a shift or not back on the blue line.
No timeout used here. Severson off the glass, and down the ice it goes. Will it be icing? I don't think it's going to be. Well, it's still, nope, now the linesman at this side waves it off. Exactly a minute to go here in game number 7. Theodore out of his own zone. As they weave through the neutral zone, Lockhart drops it back, handed it away, and it is cleared, and not far enough for icing. 45 seconds to go as Forsberg goes back to get it. Kelowna making a change. Delnoff puts it into the far corner, race for it there. Martin first to it, plays it around the boards, kicked by Lipsbergs, but it goes to McKinley, and McKinley gets it out, and Nyberg has a chance, and he rolls it deep inside the Kelowna zone. No penalty. 26 seconds left in the third period. One more chance for Seattle. Lipsbergs throws it through the neutral zone. Here is Lockhart. Lockhart putting it back of the net. 15 seconds remaining. Kelowna can't get it yet. Here's a chance. Lockhart scores! With 7 seconds to go in the third period, the Seattle Thunderbirds have scored to tie it at 2-2.
Boy, Lockhart, the captain, puts his team on his back. Dan, my producer, Dave Roberts, was kidding with me. I said, Dave, they need 5 more clears. He says, you're counting. You got to be crazy. I said, this is a clear that isn't going to happen. Too much pressure. I felt that Seattle Thunderbirds needed 1 more clear, good scoring chance. And what happens? They can't get it out, the Rockets do. They get it to Lockhart, and he puts it the only place a goaltender could not get it. At least Jordan Cook couldn't get it. Right above the glove side, and we are tied at 2.
Anybody call overtime besides Doyle Pottindo? Overtime in game number 7 with 7 seconds remaining. There's the big smile. It's Lockhart who scores the goal. I'm trying to see which Thunderbird was on his belly making that incredible pass to Lockhart, but it was a great pass. Unreal.
Captain, oh my captain, Lockhart. I talked about it earlier, Dan. He's done everything for this team. And it was Lockhart with that short-handed breakaway that he got robbed by Jordan Cook. But Lockhart definitely not to be denied on that play, on that shot. 9 seconds left. We're going overtime.
And lots more coming up on Shaw.
Welcome back to Kelowna, where after regulation time, the Thunderbirds and Rockets are tied at 2, and we are heading into overtime here. Happy to be joined by Rockets assistant coach Dan Lambert, and Dan, must have been a little bit tragic here. Can you help us take us through those that last minute? They had the goalie pulled, and they managed to get one with about 7 seconds left.
Well, you know, I thought it was one of those things where there was a battle down low. A guy got, fell down on a play, and then they recovered. I mean, it's been that kind of series all along here, and I guess why not in Game 7?
Yeah, the final 20 minutes, and it came down to that, and why not in a game series that has been so close, and we're heading into our 5th overtime now. Tyson Bailey, can you tell us about him and the thoughts of his play and him stepping up as a young 17-year-old, leading the way offensively for you guys? 2 goals tonight.
Well, Tyson's a real character player. He's done that all year for us. It seems like he scored a lot of big goals, and tonight he took it upon himself to make sure when he gets chances to bury them.
Jordan Cook has also been strong for you. What were you thinking when you saw Luke Lockhart going down on him shorthanded there?
Well, it's one of those things that Cookie's been there for us all season long, and I had faith in him that he was going to stone him, and he did a great job. He stayed with them, and it's been a pretty big battle for us so far. It's been a seesaw all the way along here.
Brandon Glover's been playing excellent in the Thunderbirds net. What is the key to beating him? And I know the first one that Bailey got was a quick rebound. Is that the way to try and surprise him?
Yeah, I think he covers the bottom of the net real well, and anytime we get a rebound, we got to make sure we try to get it up. And in saying that, we've got to fight to get in that red zone and get pucks to the net.
Your team, the resolve of your team has been tested throughout this series, especially being down 3-0. What's going on, and what will you be talking about in that dressing room tonight, or just within this intermission break here?
Well, there's no doubt that we want to get back to our game plan of getting pucks deep, making their D-men work down low. And, it's no surprise that we're short-staffed, but we need somebody to step up here and just stay with the same game plan we've had all along.
And before I let you go, I know you're looking after the defensemen here, and I know you're very short-handed with them and largely just using 4 tonight. Are they hanging in there for now?
Well, they certainly are. I got to give them credit. I think they've done a great job this whole series, and, let's hope they've got another few shifts in them.
All right, Dan, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, let's head up to WHL Central and Andy Neal.
Many thanks to Dan Lambert for joining us here through 3 periods now. And of course, they're going to overtime. 5th time in the series so far. WHL Central brought to you by Sierra Silva. What did you think? 7 seconds left. Luke Lockhart, who was stopped on that shorthanded chance, the breakaway that Stu was talking about alongside Dan, he atones with the equalizer.
Well, he's had an unbelievable back half of the season. He's a 20-year-old playing for his life. For the last 6 minutes of the game, he was thinking about the short-handed breakaway. I looked at you at one point and went, this poor guy's going to see that breakaway all summer long. Well, he's not going to see it now, but he is going to see his goal with 7.3 seconds. An unbelievable series. Takes me back a little bit to the Western Conference Final of 2008 when Spokane beat Tri-City in 7 games. 5 of those games went to overtime. 2 of them in double overtime, as Spokane won the series and then went on to win the league title and, of course, the Memorial Cup that year in Kitchener. However, the least dramatic game really in that whole series was Game 7 that I believe, if memory serves me correct, Spokane won in Tri-City 4-1.
Yeah, Game 7 tonight certainly living up to the billing between Seattle and Kelowna this evening. What have you made through regulation so far from both sides and how they've approached tonight's game?
Boy, that's an open-ended question. I just cannot say enough about the learning curve for Seattle's young defense. Shea Theodore, this guy's going to be a National Hockey League player, rated number 17 by NHL Central Scouting in their most recent rankings. I love his skating ability. I like his poise. Russ Farwell talked to you about Griffin Folk. This is a team that, regardless of what happens here tonight, and they'll be absolutely devastated, this is a team that's been out of the playoffs for a while. This will really help the program. As far as Kelowna, I cannot say enough about the job that Ryan Huskett, Danny Lambert, and just the Kelowna organization. When you lose up to 6 and 7 key pieces from a team, and I went into so many cities this year, and the first question I asked, what team do you like? What team do you like? And almost to a team across the league, everybody was so impressed with Kelowna and the job Huskett did, and hockey people talked about they play the game the right way. And it's sad, and I know it's a big cliche, but I have to use it tonight. It's going to be pretty difficult, and you're going to feel pretty bad for whoever does not turn on the red light, and we might be here a while, but that's all right. I don't have anywhere better to be.
Well, I got to wonder about the tiredness of Kelowna now because of those lost bodies. I have to think the fatigue must be coming into play for them, especially.
Down to 4 defensemen, really. Colton Heffley's done a pretty nice job where he's been spotted in. But again, what they have been forced to do in their lineup. Kirkland's in. You're playing Nick Merkley, a 15-year-old. Seattle's lost some good people. They have Keegan Kolazar, who was their second pick of the first round from Winnipeg. He's done a pretty nice job as another 15-year-old hockey player. It's a battle amongst one of the great battles, and we're just lucky to be a part of it here tonight on Shaw.
Any predictions on who's going to be the goal scorer tonight?
Well, I'll take one from each side. And I am going to predict Shea Theodore for the Seattle Thunderbirds. And on the other side of the coin, I'm going to go with Tyrell Goulburn for the Kelowna Rockets.
He's been really rolling this evening. You've been raving about him and his line mates tonight in the game off air while we've been watching.
They didn't play as much. Merkley only had a couple of shifts, the 15-year-old. Goulburn, especially in the first 2 periods, I thought this 18-year-old just absolutely skated miles. I've got a weird feeling it might be him, but who knows? I know this, my friend. We're going to remember this night for a while.
Absolutely. Who would I take? I'm going to take Riley Sheen. I think will get one for Seattle. He'll be the goal scorer for the Thunderbirds. And for Kelowna, I'm going to take Ryan Olsen. He's my guess. So Olsen and Sheen for me.
Good picks.
All right. We'll take a quick time out here in overtime. 5th overtime in the 7 that Seattle and Kelowna have gotten together in this opening round of the Cal Tire Western Conference quarterfinal. We'll come back with more in the overtime intermission in Kelowna on the WHL on Show. Back in Kelowna, 2-2 tie here in overtime. Game 7 of the Cal Tire Western Conference quarterfinal series alongside Peter Loubardias. Now, if Kelowna wins, they would get Kamloops in the second round, and that would start on Saturday night. And it's kind of interesting. Most series would start on Friday evening, but Kelowna has taken its right to move to Saturday.
Well, Kelowna has all kinds of reasons with this unbelievable MASH unit that seems to keep growing every game with the now 7 regulars out of the lineup. And with this unbelievable series in the 5 overtimes, they wouldn't mind having about 2 weeks, to be honest. The interesting thing is when this situation comes up, and we talked to Richard Dirksen, longtime vice president of the Western Hockey League, how do you decide in terms of when you would play? Both teams truly have to make a decision and agree upon the date that the next series will start. Generally, it is Friday, Saturday. That's when teams like to play their home games, take advantage of the weekend scenario even in the playoffs. Maybe a little bit surprising that Kamloops, who's been sitting since their Game 6 victory on Monday night in Victoria, signed off on allowing an extra day before the start of the next round, which would come up Saturday. But hey, they're good partners.
Of course.
They're good partners. Good
Sure.
BC partners. A lot of love there for sure. You're not going to see much if they play one another in the next round.
Yeah, well, we should be in for a dandy first overtime. Goodness knows how long we will be here with the way the goaltenders are playing tonight. Let's go upstairs to Dan Russell and Bill Wilms.
It's pretty amazing stuff here to get to overtime, and in that dramatic a fashion, that late a goal, and this place like a balloon was punctured with 7 seconds to go.
Yeah, took the air right out of everybody in this building, and Dan, they came that close, but was there a foreshadow of things to come when Lockhart gets this opportunity on the breakaway, shorthanded? He goes in to that spot, terrific save by Cook. 2-1. Here's a go-ahead goal for the Kelowna Rockets. I love the forechecking pressure. And that's Severson. I talked about Severson pinching to make a play. This time he pinches to get the puck on the net. He's such a talented defenseman. And Tyson Bailey from that spot makes it 2-1. This is how close, folks, the Kelowna Rockets came to making it 3-1. This is a Severson post there. But let's set the stage up for the extra attacker on the ice. Hold it right there, guys. When you've got the extra attacker far left of your screen, that's Lockhart. That puck's got to get deep so the goalie can't get it. Let it go. Fast enough, Cook can't get it. Lidsberg's got to chase that puck down. Now hold it there. You're going to see Olsen fall behind the net. And watch 21 at the left side of your screen. 2 mistakes. You got a player fall. You got Nyberg not picking up Lockhart, and he takes that puck forehand, backhand, or backhand, forehand, and quickly deposits in that spot. See, those 2 mistakes would be no big deal normally, Dan, but when you got the extra attacker on the ice, they're just simply magnified.
Those 2 teams with those logos have been just battling, and how about this? We're going to overtime for the 5th time in 7 games. And how about this? Tim Speltz referencing to Peter Loubardias earlier just how dramatic it was for them to come all the way back. Here's Kelowna 7 seconds away from joining 1996 Spokane as the only other team to come all the way back from 3-0, and they can't get the empty netter. They couldn't get the goal post. They thought they should get maybe a penalty call, but that's a tough one in the last minute where everything kind of goes. And here we go to overtime. Kelowna won last night in Game 6 in overtime, and we go to Game 7 overtime. Reminding me also of Vancouver Spokane years ago with Games 5, 6, and 7 all going the extra period. What a series. How will it end? 2-2 overtime is underway here in Kelowna. And here are the Rockets. Severson from the line and not change directions. Sometimes they're over quick. Long shot goes wide of the net. Franco backhand pass in front, and it goes off Bell, and he couldn't finish it as it rolled off his stick. Lipsbergs was checking him. Franco's got the puck well down low again. Franco being tied up by Lockhart. Lockhart Can't come up with it. Franco does. Franco trying to get room, but Lockhart again stays with him. Olsen in front of the net. Can't get the shot. Franco, he tries to put it in front. Forsberg, he gets it out to Lipsbergs, and it's to the center ice area. Lockhart tries to get it through, and he does. Lipsbergs can't get a hold of it, and Severson plays it over here to Martin. Martin tries to get a lead pass, and he does, but Bailey couldn't handle it cleanly. Bailey with 2 goals tonight. Franco trying to throw it in front. Franco. Bailey in front of the net. A shot. That's knocked down. Franco again. Franco lost the puck. Smith will try to find Svensson on the bank off the boards, but it didn't get through. Smith again here in the center ice area. Smith shoots it in. It's a bouncer. Svensson. Svensson was on his belly when he set up Lockhart for that tying goal. Now in over the blue line. Bailey can't reach it. Kirkland has it pop over his stick. Cambytes trying to check him. Fowley. And Cambytes kicks it up for Sanvito. Cambytes follows it up and shoots it in. It's quiet here in Kelowna. The fans are still stunned from what happened late in the third. Bailey out of his own zone. Here's Stadel moving in. Shoots. He just missed the far corner. Ooh, that was inches away as it goes all the way down the ice. Riley Stadel had 2 goals during the regular season. Nearly had his first playoff goal there, and he did not miss by much. Kirkland. Fowley. Kirkland again in the center ice area. Off the stick. And now it's Johnson trying to send it in deep, and he does for Seattle. And goaltender Cook leaves it, and here's a long stretch pass. Goulburn trying to get behind Forsberg, who rides him into the corner boards. There's another hit back of the net. Hollop over that far side. Trying to get possession is Merkley. Long shot from the point. That's knocked down, and here comes Seattle. There's 4 of them through the center ice area. But they're offside, making 1 move too many. For Seattle was Kolasar.
This is how close the Rockets come on Stadel's shot, but you know, I'm sure that it's all about positioning of the goaltender. Glover knows that if you miss him, it's going to miss the net. And then goaltenders become so confident of that. When they play their angles well, they don't lose the net. They got that geometric game. They know that if they're in perfect position, that puck misses them, it's going to miss the net. It's over. No big deal.
Offside again. We're 3 minutes into overtime. 4th overtime. The first one ended at 19:09, then at 2:41 in Game 2, at 4:55 of Game 3, and at 10:39 of Game 6.
Wouldn't be something that McKinley for the Kelowna Rockets might be the guy that ends at all plus 55 during the regular season and the plus minus, the highest Rocket ever. Playoff experience with Chilliwack 2 years with Kootenay Ice.
Seattle, Lockhart. Delnoff brings it in over the blue line. Delnoff, long shot that deflects way up high and out of play.
Well, it hasn't been decided here yet, folks, but the point differential, when we're talking about biggest upsets, prior to this one, you see back the Cougars a couple years there, Spokane, Seattle, Muska, all the way back to 89.
Theodore from the blue line. Theodore moving in. There's a chance now with Bell losing his stick. Theodore winding up, shoots. Oh, and that deflects out off the target, and it just went wide. And there's another shot that goes wide of the goal. Chopped by Franco out. As Wardley was trying to hold it in on the pinch, and it's chopped down the ice for an icing, and the fans, who are not in the best of moods anyway, they boo on the icing.
Yeah, well, that certainly means that the Rockets obviously not able to make a line change. We'll see if Konowalchuk ends up taking advantage of that. Obviously, this is his big line for Seattle. Lipsberg.
Long shot. Doesn't reach the net. Now Lockhart again. Lockhart off this near side wall, makes a move. Here he comes. Lockhart moving in, shoots. Saved by Cook. Oh my, what a save by Cook, as Lockhart almost became the double hero here. And there's a long shot that's turned aside by Glover, or by Cook, I should say. Lockhart almost ended it. Now here's Lipsburg's on the far side, and he's stopped by Cook. Lipsburg's again has possession behind the net. Tries to get a wraparound, and it comes out to the blue line. Here's Forsberg. Forsberg plays it down low. There's a man in front. They can't get him to pass, and it's controlled by the Kelowna Rockets as the fans here breathe a sigh of relief as Olsen gets it out to the neutral zone. Sanvito getting loose. In over the line. Sanvito rolls it towards the net. Severson trying to get it. He knocks it down behind the goal. And the Rockets. Severson will just flip it to the line. And out. Brought back in offside.
Dan, does Luke Lockhart ever know how to get that puck to pay dirt? He's going to go along the wall here, far right side of your screen. And he gets a player turn his back on him. And my goodness, does he find a lane to skate through? Watch him. And then he finds a spot for the stick on the puck and the shot. Big save by Cook.
Boy, was it ever. And he went 5-hole, and he just squeezed those pads in time. 5 minutes into the overtime. Stadel going in deep, throws a puck in front of the net, and it's just knocked off the target by Kirkland. And Seattle gets it out to center. Sanvito misses the pass there. Here comes Kirkland in over the blue line with Fowley and Bailey as his line mates. Kirkland throws it in front, the puck at the side of the net. It's still right there. It comes back, and a pass, and a goal! It's all over! The Kelowna Rockets have won! And is it Bailey's time again? 3-2 Kelowna! They have done what Spokane did in 1996. The second WHL team in history to come all the way back. The Kelowna Rockets are through to round 2 against Kamloops in a thriller of a series. And dejection at the Seattle bench. Absolute incredible relief at the Kelowna bench. What a series that's come to an end tonight. Kelowna wins 4 in a row after losing the first 3 in overtime. And the favorite drink tonight in the Okanagan, you know it's going to be Bailey's.
Dan, we talked about it at the beginning. This is Bailey with another spot where he's been dynamite. But this is a pass from Madison Bowie that is absolutely second to none. There, Bailey. Look at the people behind the net. They can't believe it. There's the forecheck. Create that loose puck, and Bowie says, you take it.
Wow.
You're hot.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, as good as Brandon Glover has been in this series, there isn't a way in the world that he would have made that save. He tried desperately to get over that. To me, that's as good a pass by Bowie as it is a goal by Bailey.
And what a save a minute earlier by Cook off Lockhart. It's that close to having a celebration the other way. Cook with a big save off Lockhart, and look at the goal on this angle down low as the scramble, and what a pass, as Bill says, over here to Bailey. How about that? A hat trick in Game 7, 3-2. As you see the dejection of Glover. Forsberg, by the way, went over to the bench. He must have slammed his stick 8 times against the bench in frustration. But the handshake goes on, and we're airlifted, Bill, for the finale of this series. But what a series it was. Who would have thought 7 games, and who would think that a team could come all the way back from 3-0 down?
Well, I told you right off the top, folks, these teams are going to leave everything on the ice. And I don't care who you are. You could be the staunchest Seattle Thunderbird fan, and you got to say, boy, I'm proud. I'm extremely proud of my team that played so well in this playoff. Took a 3-0 lead and then saw it evaporate. And Dan, I got to tell you, in my opinion, I did not think the Seattle Thunderbirds would have the battle level they had here tonight. You could make every case in the world that this could have been a 1-goal victory for the team in blue. They were terrific. But boy, that Kelowna team, they've just done everything. They haven't ceased to amaze people in the Western Hockey League all year.
But congratulations also to Steve Konowalchuk and his coaching staff, and Russ Farwell, the general manager. This team back in the playoffs for the first time in about 3 years, and they made noise. They made a lot of it. And when you lose games 6 and 7 in overtime, pretty tough to swallow, but what a series for Seattle. Let's go down to Stu Walters. Stu.
We'll check that. We're here with the overtime hero. Tyson, talk about that overtime goal, how it developed, and how you feel right now.
We had a good cycle, and then the puck somehow went to the point. And Madison Bauer, great vision there to hit me backdoor when I was calling for it.
Talk about the resolve of your team. How did it feel going into the intermission, heading into overtime after giving up that goal 7 seconds left?
We've had this motto, just believe, being down 3-0, that we can come back. And in overtime, that's all we said. We believe, and then we came back.
How much respect do you want to give to your Thunderbird opponents who gave you all that they could give you in this series?
Oh, they put a hell of a series. Like the first 3 games, they just took it to us physically and stuff. But they came back. Brandon Glover put a hell of a series, too.
You look forward to meeting Kamloops in the next round after a couple days off here?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, thanks for this. Good, well done, Tyson.
Thank you.
Dan, up to you.
Wow, how about that for a hat trick? I mean, he had a lot of goals coming into this, but 5, 6, and 7 in this series tonight after getting on the season 26 goals. Tyson Bailey from Fort Saskatchewan in Alberta. If not the hero, the co-hero with his goalie, Jordan Cook, because Bill, it took both. It took the huge save at one end, and then it took that kind of play by Kelowna to finish it.
Yeah, no question. Jordan Cook was better tonight than I might have seen him in any time this year. Didn't see him, all that much, but I know he had a great winning streak going as a goaltender, but he was terrific, and Bailey just made it all happen.
Stu, down to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. With the Rockets goaltender Jordan Cook, stopped 24 of 26 shots and some unbelievable stops, especially on Luke Lockhart, but we'll get to that in a second. What do you feel like right now? Can you describe this to everyone?
This is unbelievable. Being down 3-0 in Seattle for Game 4, it's definitely not the situation that we wanted to be in coming in the series, but we battled hard and got through it, and took us Game 7 in overtime in our own building, so it's unbelievable.
Talk about the fight back from your team. What was it like in the dressing room there in the intermission heading into overtime after allowing that goal 7 seconds? Must have been heartbreaking.
Yeah, definitely. We know coming back from this 3-0 deficit that it was going to be, we're gonna get some bad bounces here and there. Definitely we didn't get the bounce that we wanted earlier, but we kind of just stayed calm and knew that this game was ours.
Talk about the games that the Thunderbirds threw at you guys, and are you going to see Luke Lockhart in your nightmares or your sleep? You came up big on him a few times tonight.
Yeah, I might. He had an unbelievable series. Being 20 years old, this was the last time really show everyone. But I guess the hockey gods just on my side tonight.
How about Tyson Bailey stepping up as still a 17-year-old and filling such a huge offensive role with so many injuries?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I'm kind of lost for words right now, but Tyson's been huge. It's Colton Sisson going out and Rigby and all those guys who have been out for a while. He really stepped up and took care of his role.
2 quick ones for you. Quickly, you had 4 defensemen basically rotating tonight. What a great job did they? What did you think of the job they did?
Oh, they were great tonight. We lost Jesse Lee's last game, and they stepped up for us in overtime there. And tonight they made a lot of my shots easy. It took a lot of shots from the outside. And, when that happens, it's gonna be an easy night.
In 2 days' time, you'll meet Kamloops in the semifinals of this Western Conference playoffs. Can you even start looking ahead to that yet?
We're gonna kind of relax after tonight, but we faced that team a lot this year, and it's been that battle for top seed in our division, and we know exactly how they play, and it's just gonna be one good series.
Jordan, great job tonight, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Dan and Bill, let's head back up to you.
Thank you, and we are told by our good friends here at Shaw that we will be doing the next series. It will be right here starting on Saturday. We'll have entire coverage of Kelowna and Kamloops, and while we were thinking we were going to get it when the playoffs started, that they were on a collision course, but then Seattle had a lot to say about that.
Yeah, it kind of derailed there for a while, that collision. But Dan, I'm going to disagree with Jordan Cook there a little bit. I don't think his team made it that easy for him to see a lot of shots. I think he was in the heat of traffic more than he really wanted to be. He was in the firing lanes. He was around the net. He was strong. I thought he was great. But for me, the bottom line, not a power play goal for the Seattle Thunderbirds.
Could have. They used one, and they had started the third period with a double minor and fresh ice, and they couldn't get the goal there. It was a great game. I would say this about the way it unfolded. I was a little surprised after the overtime that Kelowna found a way to win. I mean, that's so demoralizing for 7 seconds to go when you think you've done it, and now you got to go do it again.
Yeah, and exactly. And I mean, couple that with the fact they lose 3 in a row in overtime. How demoralizing is that? They get right behind the 8 ball. But we said right off the top, there's something about Ryan Huska's team that sort of gives you hope. If you're a Kelowna Rockets fan, you're in this building, you got to feel, you know what? There's still a lot of fight in that team, but boy, they put on a heck of a series, especially since they played last night. Those were 2, I think, tired teams.
Can you give us a 10-second look ahead to Kamloops and Kelowna?
Well, there's a ton of skill on this Kamloops team. And it's obviously their modus operandi is that they score from a lot of guys. They're going to test this Kelowna team probably more than they've been tested at any time in the season.
Wow, what a series. And history made tonight here in Kelowna as the Rockets come all the way back in extra time to beat Seattle in 7. Andy, over to you.
Thanks very much, Dan and Bill. 17 years after the Spokane Chiefs did it to the Portland Winterhawks, Kelowna now does it to Seattle. But what could you say about a Game 7? It was a tremendous finish, and Tyson Bailey at 5:10 of overtime is the hero tonight. We'll take a quick look at the Cal Tire 3-star selections for tonight's hockey game. Bailey, the number 1 star, obviously, with a hat-trick. Jordan Cook with the 24 saves. Just the 2 allowed tonight, and Brandon Glover, he was terrific as well. 32 stops, many of the tremendous variety tonight. So tough for him to be the 3rd star on the losing end this evening for Brandon Glover and the Seattle Thunderbirds. But how about the goaltenders this evening? And their play tonight, all periods, they had to come up with some big saves.
When people ask you why you like junior hockey so much, this series is why. The ebb and flows, 5 different overtimes, a Seattle team that, according to some in the league, may be underachieved with their talent during the course of the year. They put it together. Kelowna, a team that everybody liked, runs into horrendous injury problems at the absolute worst time, go down 3-0, find a way back, and isn't it interesting? It's only happened twice in league history. You go back to the last occurrence, 1996, when Spokane came back from being down 3-0. They won Game 6 in overtime. They won Game 7 in overtime. A repeat 17 years later, and just very thankful. Yes, you're right. It was some kind of game and some kind of series.
Tyson Bailey, one of the young stars for the Kelowna Rockets, so he comes through with a big effort. How about the overtime goal and what you saw?
Tyson Bailey is a young man that, to me, came onto the radar even in the preseason 2 years ago. Remember when he led the whole Western Hockey League preseason? You could tell from the first time I watched him, he had unbelievable work ethic and offensive instincts. He's not the biggest guy in the world. He's not the fastest skater, but he's highly intelligent. His hockey IQ, I mentioned Lauren Fry, pretty good 3rd round pick 3 years ago. And in that draft, Jesse Lees, Madison Bowie, and Tyson Bailey.
You know, Bailey mentioned how physical Seattle was throughout this series, and you got to wonder what kind of impact that will have going into Game 1, and maybe that extra day off will be so important going into Saturday.
They need 10 extra days off, maybe 2 weeks with their injuries and the battle that they've been through. Cannot wait for this series to begin in this building Saturday. What will Ryan Huska's team have left for a Kamloops team that garnered a ton of experience in last year's playoff, got the monkey off their back, and in the likes of a J.C. Lapon and Colin Smith and some others, even though big factor there, no Philippe Bozon, or Tim Bozon in that series. Shouldn't be talking about his dad and those days dating back to the 1988 Olympics, but no Bozon, it looks like, in the next round, but plenty of firepower. It's going to be a beauty.
Should be in for a doozy of a series, no question, for round number 2. We'll take a quick timeout and come back with more here on the WHL on Shaw. Kelowna does it. They come back from an 0-3 hole and win the series in 7 over Seattle in the Cal Tire Western Conference quarterfinals on the WHL on Shaw. Well, the Seattle Thunderbirds back in the postseason picture for the first time since 2009, and a Herculean effort to give Kelowna all they could handle. But the BC Division champs, down 0-3 in the series, come back to win it 4-3 with a 3-2 overtime win tonight. In fact, 3 overtime wins all year for Kelowna. All of them have been against Seattle, and do it back-to-back evenings. Tyson Bailey, the hero, with 3 goals this evening. So we can tell you Saturday night, Game 1, the Kamloops Blazers and the Kelowna Rockets in an all-BC Division showdown for the Cal Tire Western Conference semifinal. We will kick things off at 7 o'clock Pacific time for game number 1 on Saturday night. For Dan Russell, Bill Wilms, Stu Walders, Peter Labardius, and the rest of the WHL on Shaw crew, I'm Andy Neal. Thanks so much for watching this evening. So long from Kelowna. Talk to you again Saturday.